Alright, finally Eggy streaming. Finally Eggy streaming. Finally. EGGY. Streaming. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your nice and good patience. I am broken. Not like the stream, not like my computer, but like I am sleep egg, slept broken bad, cannot awack on time, cannot meet my own standards, bad, mean and bad. But yes, hold on. Here we go. Hello, EGGY from the void. There's a void? There's a void? What is it? Is there a void when somebody added a void when I wasn't looking? What's the void? What's the void? What's the void? What did you mean by this? Hold on, I need to fix my face. Hold on. There we go. You're broken and broke. Tragic. I don't know. I have some money. I don't have zero money. I have some money. I have some EGGY money. But I am broken. Slept schedule broken. Slept schedule broken. You do not want to know about the void. Oh, okay. The void is the starting screen. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was scared. Okay, you said the void, and I was scared that, like, a video wasn't broadcasting or something. Like, I was scared that, like, there was, like you guys could hear me, but you couldn't see me kind of thing. EGGY, what city did you use as a backdrop for the music video? So this, actually, oh, I should probably talk about that a bit. So, I had a cover that I premiered the other day. The cover was April Loop originally by Nekoboro. The city that I used as the backdrop, this is a part of downtown Toronto that is close to, so the Ontario College of Art and Design, that video is the Shadow Realm. Okay, to be fair, actually, I know somebody had said during the premiere, I think it was Jake who had said, like, in the chat, like, average Canadian weather. I actually had to make, the weather was, I mean, okay, I picked a day that was, like, cloudy and cold, but I did actually have to, like, use filters in when I was editing so that it would look sadder. So that they would look a little sadder. But yes, this was a part of downtown Toronto, over by the Ontario College of Art and Design. So you might have seen at some point there was like a really weird looking building in the video that's like, it's like this like black and white box supported by these like multicolored pillars. That's the Ontario College of Art and Design. It's a very weird looking building. But yeah, everything was filmed except for a couple shots that I think were filmed on other streets. Like I think those frogs. Yeah, the frogs are further away. The frogs, I think I went somewhere else for the frogs. But everything else, I thought the shot of the CN Tower in the background would have given it away. But yeah, so that was that's where I filmed it. That's where I went to film it. It's, I guess, there's a lot of, like, again, there's a lot of stuff in the area because it's, you know, student area. And furthermore, it's art student area. So, yeah. What else was I going to say? It was really windy that day, though. It was really windy that day. So when I was filming, I had printed out a few of the EGGY cutouts, right? Those paper EGGY cutouts. I realized after I printed them when I started filming, I'm like, I really should have, like, fortified these. I don't know if fortified is the right word. I should have strengthened them out a little, you know? Like, maybe you should have glued them to a piece of cardboard or something to help it stand up better. Because it was so windy that day. Like, I tried to pick a day when it was, like, you know, cold and cloudy and kind of dreary looking. Unfortunately, on those kinds of days, it also tends to be really windy, which poses a problem when you are trying to film a piece of paper. So yeah, luckily none of my eggies blew away. I had printed out like I think 3 of each because I had 3 Ocker had made me 3 different drawings. Let me see if I can show you what she had sent me. So there were 3 eggies. There was 3 eggies. Hold on. Why are you big? So yeah, there was 3 eggies. And so I printed out 3 pages of this. I printed out 3 pages of these eggies, and then I went and so yeah, then I went to film. So yeah, the eggies, I'm surprised I didn't well, okay, I actually lost one. Like, luckily I had backups. I actually did lose 1 eggy, not due to the wind, but due to, I tried filming on this, like, little, like, boardwalk looking thing, and then one of the eggies, like, fell between, like, the cracks of the boardwalk, and I couldn't reach underneath. And even if I could, it probably would be wet, and it was probably soaked. So, yeah, these are the eggies. These are the eggies that Ocker had made me. They're good eggies. They're good eggies. They're excellent eggies. Let me get rid of the eggies. Okay, no more eggies. Just this eggy. Just this eggy. But yeah. That was tiny rock paperweight for paper egg. Yeah. So I had to bring like a paperweight with me to hold them down. But the thing is that the paperweight will stop it from blowing away, but the paperweight cannot stop it from like wiggling in the wind. Like, I tried to get shots. I tried to get shots because I wanted there to be a little bit of movement on the paper, but I tried to get shots. There's some shots I couldn't use because it was like the wind was just straight up blowing the thing over. Like, you could not see the art because the wind was so strong that, like, it seems that, like, the wind knew when I was turning on my camera. So, like, I'd be like, okay, time to film, and then the wind would, like, just a massive gust of wind would blow. And then I would, yeah. I also realized now that you're also a streamer, I was shadow subscribed to you ever since the Ave Maria cover. Thought you only did song covers as a musical VTuber. Nope, I stream. Usually I stream on Twitch. In theory, I stream once a week on YouTube. In practice, I feel like YouTube streams are the ones I accidentally drop the most. I feel like just because it's Friday, so like Friday seems to be the day where stuff is most likely to get in the way, is what I found. Like, I feel like you guys might also agree with me. Like, I feel like with Friday, it's like, it's the end of the week, so it's a day when I'm, like, most likely to be tired. But I feel like Friday is also, like, you know, if anything in my life interesting happens at all, Friday can't happen, right? So, like, you know, if I am traveling for a weekend trip, then it's like, okay, well, Friday, it's Friday, so I guess I can't stream then if I'm traveling, like, so yeah, I feel like, my YouTube streams, in theory, on paper, I do them once a week. In practice, I mostly stream on Twitch for the rest of the week. I don't know. I just find streaming on Twitch to be easier, but maybe it's just because of what I'm used to. It's very weird because, like, yeah, why are you most tired on Friday? End of week. Yeah, Fridays get busy. It's always a setup for the rest of the weekend. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I'd be most tired on Friday, but I don't know. It just keeps happening. I think my other thing is, like, okay, I have been very open about how annoyed I get with YouTube, like, just various ways that YouTube streaming works. So I feel like Friday, because it's a YouTube stream, I feel like if it was a Twitch stream, maybe I would do it more often. Because, like, okay, YouTube streams are, like, there's so many things that I have to worry about with YouTube streams that I don't have to think about on Twitch that, like, you know when you have something that is, like, mildly difficult to do, but, like, it's, like, it's mildly difficult to do in a way that you're like, I guess I just won't do it, that's fine. Like, I feel like starting a YouTube stream is just, like there's 9,000 things I have to go in and change. And it just, like, annoys me enough that I'm just like, I can't bring myself to do it when I'm tired. I feel like if it was a Twitch stream, I'm just like, okay, time to press the button and then we're done. Nah. And also YouTube, yeah, I have to remember to make the, I have to make the waiting room the night before too. Which I managed to do this time. Yeah. There's way more layers of it to consider. Okay. This is my complaint. Because, I mean, I've seen people talk about, like, Twitch versus YouTube. Not from, like, a how can you grow perspective, but, like, a, like, how do you use it? It sounds like you don't like YouTube. I don't know. YouTube is just, again, it feels like Twitch is one button, okay? You connect your account, and then after that, it's literally just press one button. Press one button. Like, you can, you know, if you want, you probably should, like, you know, change a stream title in the game category and stuff. But it's one button, right? One single button. You don't have to think about anything else. But, like, Twitch is, like, YouTube is, like, okay, so you have to, like, so I had log into my account, right? I have to switch from my Twitch account to my YouTube account, right? Okay, so I log in, and then, okay, assuming I made the waiting room the night before. So I log in. I set everything up. I hit, you know, I had start streaming, because there's two buttons here. There's start streaming and manage broadcast. So I hit the words start streaming, and they say, oh, actually, sorry, you can't start streaming. You need to hit manage broadcast first. So I'm like, okay, so why is this a button here? And then I go into manage broadcast, and then I have to choose my broadcast. You know, I have to choose which waiting room I'm streaming this to, right? So I click on that waiting room, and then it's like, okay. And then I hit go live, and then they're like, okay, keep in mind, you are not actually live yet. You need to go into YouTube Studio in your browser and press go live, and then you will be live. And I'm like, this feels like a lot of steps. Why does the go live button in OBS, I guess the go live button, like, connects to YouTube, and then once you're there, then you have to hit it again. But, like, well, that feels like that's too many buttons. Twitch just goes one. Twitch is like, okay, you hit the go live button, you're live now. Congratulations. Like, yeah. Even if we're on YouTube or left in the void. Yeah, but, like, I want to have stuff on YouTube. Because I also know that there's some people who can't access Twitch at all. Like, the artist who made my model, she's from South Korea. Twitch is banned in South Korea. The last I checked. So, obviously for the sake of, again, people who... Or I've seen some people say that they would watch me at work. And Twitch is banned at work, but YouTube isn't. So, yeah, again, for the sake of people who can't access Twitch, I do want to stream on YouTube sometimes. Yeah. Once you go through all the layers, you get 100% set up correctly. Well, here's the thing is that the other thing too is with Twitch is that, oh, you know what the other dumb thing about YouTube is? Every time I log in to my account on YouTube, it will be, like, my stream will be connected to YouTube, but I have to log in again if I want to be able to chat in my own chat. Like, the chat box sidebar will appear in OBS, but if I want to, like, if I want to, like, chat in my own chat, I have to, like, log in again, because for some reason it logs me into my YouTube account, except within chat. It makes me do it again. I don't know why. Yeah, Egg, if you have a different degree, what would it be? I don't know. I haven't thought that far. I don't know, maybe something more specific? Because I feel like my major was pretty broad, so probably something, like, more specific to a certain field, I guess. Yeah. Twitch isn't banned in South Korea. They terminated their service there because of costs. Wait, so what happens if you're like in Korea and then like you try to watch a Twitch stream? Does it just like not work, or do you have to use a VPN or what? Because yeah, not necessarily banned, but you can't stream or make payments in South Korea. You can still watch streams. Yeah, I guess banned was kind of an incorrect word, because it's not banned due to like it's not banned in the same way that like it would, that like YouTube is banned in China, right? It's more like, yeah, wasn't it like a tech issue, like Twitch was using up too much bandwidth or something? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. What do you like about learning the most besides Japanese? I don't know. It was Japanese. That's the thing. It was Japanese. Do not ask me about anything I learned in Universiteg, because I don't remember. I do not remember. I don't know. How many of your college classes can you actually solidly say you remember? I guess French. French was fine. French was fine. I feel like I had like 2 different classes on like speaking French, like, you know, like verbal, like, you know, stuff like giving presentations or discussions, like class discussion classes. And one of them was really good and the other one was really bad. Yeah. I don't think it was a bandwidth issue. It was a South Korean internet company monopoly issue. Ah, okay. Will you be singing more opera in the future? Probably, yeah. I want to do a karaoke stream at some point in the near future, because I have my ukulele back. I have my ukulele back. But also, one day I will be able to like suffer through the common cold and not have my entire life completely like thrown into disorder. I feel like I'm still catching up. I feel like I cannot have the common cold without like everything around me falling apart. How's posting? Hopefully that's it. I'm still waiting to be able to, like, it's much better than it was last week. I'm still waiting to be able to feel comfortable singing again, because like, again, it's still just kind of yucky. I woke up this morning and it was like, it was sore again, but it was like, it wasn't like sick sore, it was like lack of water sore. Like, I don't know what happened in my room. Like, I feel like some mysterious beast must have come into my room and like sucked all the moisture out of the air, because I ran my humidifier before bed and then I woke up and it was like I had done nothing at all. Like, it was like I had done less than nothing at all. Like, it was like, again, like all the moisture had been like completely sucked out of my body, like, upon waking up. So yeah, I'm currently trying to resolve that with water. Yeah, so yeah, I think the real problem is just like, it's not necessarily recovering from the disease itself. It's like my sleep schedule was super thrown off, because like, you know, when you're sick, you like sleep at different times a day because you're just trying to like get as much rest as possible. So yeah, my sleep schedule got super thrown off and still has not recovered. This is also probably also the fault of 100 Line Last Defense Academy, because I keep staying up late because it's a good game and I keep playing it. So that probably doesn't help. But yeah, I still need to like clean my room, because like, okay, at some point when I was sick, the fitted sheet just kind of popped off the mattress, and at the time I couldn't be bothered to put it back, and it appears that after the time I still couldn't be bothered to put it back, because my bed is still just like exposed mattress right now. Yeah, I need to like take out garbage, because I have again, I accumulated a lot of garbage. I still have like Uber Eats bag packaging around, like, yeah. So and also laundry. I'm super behind on laundry. I never have anything to wear. So yeah, someday I'll be able to like catch up. I don't know if today is going to be the day. Yeah. Coronavirus going around in my country, linking post-infections around more aggressively. I'm a nurse. I've had patients that keep having a cough for up to a month. Yeah. You got one of these two that stick with you for a while. I mean, I think it might be like something spring specific because I remember something similar happened about the same time last year. To be fair, I was working at the time, which I'm currently not. So like, that was probably also a difference that I had to like go into the office every day. But yeah, I definitely like whatever happened to me this time was not as bad as last year. But yeah, last year I also had a cough that lasted a long time. But also, to be fair, I think that was also like I didn't have my humidifier at the time because I definitely remember like I didn't have a humidifier and then my parents visited and I'm like, "Yeah, could you bring my humidifier from home?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then they brought it and then I was instantly cured. So like I think that might have just been like super dry like atmosphere. In which case, like, I don't know. It solved itself within like a couple days of having a humidifier running. So, yeah. Bear skin on mattresses cause lint and fraying from human sweat when you sleep. Yeah, actually, it's not technically bear mattress. Sorry, I kind of lied. There's actually like a mattress cover. There's like a plasticky mattress cover on top, which I don't know if it's better or worse. I don't know if that's better or worse. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to wash my sheets. I need to wash my comforter. Okay, I need to wash my comforter, but like, I need to like okay, because like this is the first time in years that I've had like a regular comforter, right? Like everything I've had up until this point has been like a duvet and a duvet cover, right? So like unless you like have like a massive spill or like it gets really dirty, most of the time you don't have to wash the duvet. Usually you can get away with just like washing the duvet cover. And then putting the duvet back inside after it's clean, right? But this is the first time in years I've had like a regular comforter that isn't just like an outer layer with an inner layer. And I don't know how to wash this thing. I know I probably should wash it, but like every like I looked up like how to wash a comforter, and all the guides are like, your washing machine probably isn't big enough to do this. Like you should go to a laundromat, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll need to figure out. I won't even know. I've never used a laundromat. I won't even know where to find one, honestly. I know you can probably just look that up, but like, yeah. Yeah. Bless that device then. Yeah, humidifier is good. I mean, okay, actually the humidifier I have is actually technically like a essential oil diffuser. But it turns out that if you just like put in normal water and don't mix any oil with it, then it's just a humidifier. It just emits steam. That's it. So, yeah, so it works out. It works out. I think of it more as like a humidifier that I can use to make the room smell nice if I choose to do so. I think I only have like one oil for it, though. I think I have like something citrus smelly. That's the one I have. That's the one I have. But yeah, no, I don't know if I'll have to like do a side quest to figure out how to wash my comforter. Because that's the thing, is that like, I don't know how, like what, because my bed is not that big. I think my comforter is only like a twin size. So I don't know if that's like too big for my grandma's washing machine. I don't know. Maybe it would fit. Maybe it would fit. Because like all the guides online seem to assume that you had like a queen size or larger. Which is, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of big. Okay, actually, important question, because I was also thinking about this recently. What do you guys consider to be a normal bed size? Because, like, I've always had, like, a twin-size bed. I've always had a twin-size bed. And I always considered that to be normal bed size. But then I've talked to people who grew up, like, having, like, a queen bed. And they're like, they look at my bed and they're like, oh, it's so small. What, like, how do you sleep in such a tiny bed? And I'm like, I don't know. That's a normal bed, is it not? Why do you have, like, a giant... Because, like, to me, a queen bed is, like, a two-person bed. That's for two people, right? like, you know, maybe that's like the size that you would have in like a hotel. But to me, I'm like, a queen bed, that's like a two-person bed. Why do you, one person, need a two-person bed? Like, for what purpose? So, yeah, I got a twin mattress or whatever the size is called. Yeah, I was under the impression that like twin was the default for one person. In adulthood, at least queen is more normal, I think. I don't know, because like again, to me, it's like a queen bed is like, yeah, that's two people. That's big enough for two people. That's like, why would you need one bed? Why would you need one single bed? But yeah, that's yeah, varies by available space in your room, I guess. I prefer a queen size. Yeah, maybe just because like I didn't. But no, my room growing up was definitely big enough to accommodate a queen size. I just always had a twin size. To be fair, my bed as a kid was like, so I think my parents had bought, because me and my sister at one point we shared a room, and then as we got older, they moved her back into her own room. So what we had originally when I was a kid was like a bunk bed. And then at some point, my parents realized they're like, you know, now that they're in separate rooms, we don't need to buy a new bed. We'll just like separate the top and bottom halves of the bunk bed, and then they will each have a bed. So yeah, so I think my bed as a kid was that. It was it was like a divided up bunk bed. Yeah, based on my Googling Queen's most popular, I prefer big size. Big size. Biggest possible bed. Huge bed. Yeah, mattresses are also expensive, so I guess I keep the same mattress until you need to replace it too. Yeah, yeah, that too. That too. Um, because yeah, I guess if we would have bought a bigger bed as a kid, we probably would have needed like to buy another mattress. But yeah, so yeah, smart parents. I mean, I guess I don't know. Our room situation as a kid was like my sister when she was little, she had trouble sleeping like alone in a room. So my parents moved us both into the same room. It's but so yeah, it wasn't originally for like it wasn't for like housing size reasons. Like we had two bedrooms, like there was enough bedrooms for me and my sister to each have one. But yeah, um so then but yeah, we were moved into the same room until I think I don't remember how old I was. It must have been at least after grade 3 or 4. So I guess I would have been like 9. Then yeah, we each got our own room. But the thing is that like um there was two rooms. There was one with carpet and one without. And me and my sister throughout the time we were living there, like we just would switch back and forth. Like every so often, it would be like, "Oh, I'm tired of having a carpet." Like, and then we'd be like, "Okay, let's switch." And then we would switch. We would like move all our furniture back and forth between rooms. And then after a while, it's like, "Man, I don't like how echoey this hardwood floor room is. I want to go back to the carpet." And then we switch again. So yeah, I think we just kept switching back and forth between those two rooms for most of the time we were living there. Um, because like I think at some point shortly before we ended up moving, because I guess we didn't know we were moving yet at the time. I think like a year or two before we moved, I had repainted my bedroom. Uh, so I think if we would have kept living there, I probably would have stayed in that room. I probably would have stayed in that room. We probably wouldn't have done much moving more after that. But yeah, I don't know. To be fair though, I'm like sometimes I think about I'm like alternate future where we hadn't moved, and I'm like, would I be a VTuber right now? It's hard to say. It's hard to say if like those dominoes would have still fell the same way. Yeah. Did you have the bottom or top bunk, by the way? I was top bunk. I was top bunk because I am older. I think my parents just wanted my sister to be at the bottom bunk because she was younger and they didn't want her like climbing the ladder. So yeah, I was top bunk. But I don't know, it's weird because like maybe it was just because I was small, or maybe it was because the ceilings might have been high enough for that. But I don't remember, like, because I feel like, you know how sometimes when you have a bunk bed and you, like, have a room where you don't have enough room to, like, properly sit up in bed? I don't remember ever running into that. I feel like the ceilings were high enough that I could like sit up in my bed properly. But maybe that was also because I was a child and I was probably child size. Yeah. I could probably fit a queen size in my room, but also I'd have less storage space and living space. Yeah, yeah. Well, to me it's just like having a giant bed, unless you have multiple people living there, like feels like a kind of a inefficient use of space, right? Cuz like I feel like as long as you could like have enough space to sleep. If you have enough space to sleep, you know, and maybe I feel like you would benefit more by having more space for other stuff, you know? Hold on, I'm gonna stretch. Hweh, 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 hweh. But yeah, bed. It was bed. Bed. It was bed. It was bed. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. Alright, we're going solitairing. We're going solitairing. Here we go. We're going solitairing. We're going solitairing. It is solitaire time. It's very solitaire. Let's go to gaming. Alright, I'm sorry. The BGM, I'm sorry if the BGM just like blew out your eardrums. The BGM on this is incredibly loud. It's incredibly loud. But here we are. We're back at difficult solitaires. Well, actually, I don't know. Some of them I think are more... they're not inherently difficult, I don't think, these ones. Well, they're sort of difficult, but they're difficult in a different way. Like, I know after playing this one, like, after playing this solitaire, you know, like, this specific one, I went back to trying to play, like, normal solitaire, and I quickly got very annoyed at the fact that, like, for the most part, like, because, like, here, like, your cards are all face up, right? Your cards here are all face up, and even when you pull these out of the pile here, they're still face up, right? And I know I tried going on, like, again, I tried playing normal solitaire, and I quickly got kind of mad about how, like, you can't see anything. Like, the cards are all, like, obscured, right? They're all, like, flipped over, so you can't see what they are. And I found that very annoying. Because it's like, how am I supposed to make any informed decision? Like, there's no skill here. It feels like, it's like, man, okay, it really is more, like, luck-based than I thought, right? Like, it feels, I was getting tilted at solitaire. I was getting tilted at solitaire. Because I was like, it's luck based. You don't know what like, you don't know what you're gonna be shown. You don't know what's under there. I mean, I know there is the undo button, but it's I don't know. I guess you can be tilted at any game. You can get tilted at solitaire. It's your God-given right to get tilted at solitaire. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, if there's, like, any other game I've ever been, like, mad at for, like games that really shouldn't make you mad, you know? I'm trying to think if I've ever, like, had any games like that. If you like solitaire, you should check out Pocket Card Jockey on Switch. Horse Racing Solitaire. Wait, how does that work? Wait, like, are the horses the cards? Or are these, like, two separate, completely separate things? And they just call it that? if I just, like, got myself into a corner by, like, never taking anything out of the top pile. Because generally, like, my strategy for this one, right, is, you know, take from the bottom whenever possible instead of from the top. And don't move anything smaller than a 4 unless you have a good reason to do it. But I might have gotten myself caught up in a corner here by taking only from the bottom and like the entire top thing is still there. Can I get myself out of this one? Maybe, but not like that. Oh, maybe. Oh. No. The answer is I cannot get myself out of this one. I cannot get myself out of this one. I am foolish. Too much foolishness. We're trying again. There should be a demo. You play solitaire games and you make horse go fast. Play bad, horse gets mad and doesn't race as well, so you lose. Wait, so it's like wait, so is it like speed solitaire? Are you like trying to like make your horse like do you have to like solve faster or something? Egg. Good morning, Jake. Good morning. But yeah, I don't know. Solitaire. Okay. I hate when I have to break my own rules. I hate when okay. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, that worked out. The solitaire game's on a timer. Oh god, that must be... I was gonna say, that must be, like, insanely stressful. Because, like, I don't know. The thing I like about solitaire sometimes is that it's not on a timer, right? You can chill a bit. Well, we do have 2 open slots, so it might not be the end of the world. Okay, never mind. That works out just fine. Nice and good. Nicely and goodly. Oh, everything's working out nicely and goodly today. That's good. Okay. Now, how do I make sure everything keeps working nicely and goodly is the hard part. You see what I mean about last stream? I'm proud of how it turned out. Mean and bad. My previous stream, for people who don't follow me on Twitch, was full of technical issues. Full of technical difficulties. I'm prevented from talking about 100 line. Okay, to be fair, okay, the thing stopping me from talking about 100 line was not because it had nothing to do with the tech issues. It's because I don't want to spoil people. I want people to actually play 100 line. So I can't have people being spoiled on it. Can't be spoiling people. That's what's stopping me from talking about 100 line. Cause like 100 line, like, Horse Solitaire is developed by Game Freak, but this Pokemon. I'm sure there's Pokemon Solitaire. Yeah. Unless it got glorped. Glorped. Is it the BGM is still going, isn't it? I'm sorry. There we go. I thought I turned it off. And in the meantime, I might have made a move that will completely screw me over. I've screwed myself over. Okay. This is what happens when I yap. When I yap while I solitaire. But yeah, if you aren't playing 100 line, you should be playing 100 line. Why aren't you playing 100 line? If you're like, oh, it's a full price game, that's expensive, that's understandable, I guess. But yeah, I'm on my second 100 line route because this game apparently actually has 100 endings. They actually went through with that. So currently I've only achieved the, I guess, like prologue ending. Because yeah, your first run through is actually technically the prologue, even though it takes like 30 hours to happen. Some of the routes can be shorter because you can, like, as the game goes on, you can skip more stuff. So I know that, like, I'm currently on my second run through, but I know it's probably not gonna be as long as my first, just because, like, I will be able to skip some stuff later, right? Because there is, like, a branching story tree, but, yeah, the fact that it's branching means you can, like, kind of pick up anywhere, so, yeah. I had underlined, a game to surpass Nier Automata endings. Well, that was, like, one of the things that was interesting, too, when they were talking about it in interviews, was that they were like, okay, we need to have 100 endings, but it needs to be 100, like, legitimate feeling endings, right? Like, every ending needs to feel like a proper story, with, like, proper structured story. So, like, there's not, like, any, like, okay, and then a monster hit you and you died, and that was the end, right? So that was, like, one of the things they were trying to aim for, was, like, not, like, every ending still needs to feel meaningful. They're not going to be equally good, and people will absolutely argue over which ones are good and which ones aren't, but, like, they all need to feel like an ending, right? It not like the story's being cut off abruptly partway through, right? But yeah, so far people, I think no one has gotten all the endings yet, I think, from what I've seen. Because the game, I don't think the game has existed long enough for people to get all the endings. So yeah, there's definitely stuff that, like, we still haven't seen yet. Probably has not yet been discovered. Yeah, no cheap endings, pretty much, yeah. Like, I guess they were, like, no bad endings as in, not as in bad ending as in, like, ending of poor quality, but bad ending as in, like, you know, you picked the wrong choice and everybody died. End of story. But yeah, I'm interested in all the different ways. Because, yeah, apparently there are ones that, like, vary in quality. Because I've seen people talking about, like, different ones. Because apparently there's some endings, like, there's some routes that are, like, I think there's one that people are calling the comedy route. I don't know if any of these are, like, official route names, or if these are just things that, like, the fans made up so far. But yeah, there is one route that people call comedy route, which is apparently just memes, and some people, it's very divisive apparently. Some people are like, yeah, that was fun, and then some people are like, that was the worst thing ever. There's I think this is like a romance route, which I've been told is exactly what it sounds like. There's the there's like a route where you kind of accidentally become, like, the cult leader of all these other characters, which might be the one that I'm on right now. Like, I might have accidentally made a wrong, I don't know, I might have made a sensible sounding decision and then accidentally became the, like accidentally got, like, thrown into, like, the sex drugs route. yeah, so yeah, there's all sorts of things that can happen. And I don't think anyone has figured out all of it yet. But yeah, I'm having a good time, and that's why that's the other reason that my sleep schedule will never recover. I need to devour this game. I know I shouldn't worry so much about it because technically it's one of those games that you will probably never completely finish. But I don't know, part of me wants to be like, yeah, I'm gonna 100% this game. I want a 100% 100 line. I want to find every square inch of this game and play it all. Hey, I might actually get it this time, I think. Unless I make some very, very foolish decisions. Yeah, you can make the YouTube streams a 100-line spoiler gap with big spoiler warning text on stream. Yeah, well, the other thing, too, is that, like, okay, this is the downside of being, like, the least employed out of all of your friends. Everyone I know is behind me. Most of the other people I know who are playing it have, like, they haven't finished the prologue yet. So there's like some major twists that I can't talk about because I know they haven't found them yet. They haven't hit it yet. And I'm like, I can't discuss this thing in any meaningful detail without ruining everything. Everything. But yes. I am looking forward to when they do inevitably hit that part. There we go. I knew I could win this one. This one's not that hard. I say after taking like 5 tries to get it once. I don't know, maybe it's an off day. I feel like with this one, I have like good days and I have off days with it, you know? There will be days where I will win every single time, and there will be days where I cannot even get one single win. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Truly unfortunate. Okay, that's a lot of aces. Oh, that's convenient. Okay. They're handing me this one. I better get it. I better not do anything that will, like, jeopardize my success here, because they're basically handing this one to me. For free. Okay. Like, where do we go from here? I didn't think this far. I was like, woo, lots of aces, and I got like completely blinded by that. And now I'm like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? No. Ooh, aces. Ooh. Yeah. How does one talk about 100 line? How does one not talk about 100 Line when it's like the only thing that's happened in my life over the past week? I don't know. I've done other things. I'm trying to remember what they are. I've done other things. I've done other things. I applied for jobs. I didn't hear back from any, but like I applied for them. I watched a bunch of graduation streams, just like everybody else did. I did other things. It was a lot of graduation streams this week. But it is what it is. I don't know. I was thinking it was recently. I was thinking about how, like, because, like, I remember I was watching, like, you know, that kind of final run of streams that Gura did in the last few days? I was thinking about that because, like, I was thinking about, like, I was looking at old clips too, and I was like, you know, it's kind of weird that people get, like, because people would talk about being, like, nostalgic for, like, 2020, for 2020 VTubers, right? And I was thinking recently, I'm like, you know, it's kind of weird, because, like, 2020 was, like, objectively not a very good time to be, like, alive in society, right? Generally, that's, like, a generally accepted fact. But it's very weird to me. I'm like, you could not pay me to go back to 2020, but on the other hand, it's also, like, people were, like, very nostalgic about that time. And I'm like, yeah, I guess everything, you can, it turns out you can make nostalgia out of anything. Like, out of any situation. Because I guess people are, like, maybe people aren't necessarily, like, nostalgic for exactly what was going on at the time, but I guess they're nostalgic for, like, the things that brought them comfort during the time. Like, yeah, it turns out you can make nostalgia out of, like, literally anything. Should I start putting random cards down here in the hope that, like, it will actually work? Because, like, I have no faith that it will. And this game doesn't let you take cards out once they're already in the pile. Hey, Eggy! Hello, Kudo! Good morning! Maybe I just put, like, random cards here until something works. Oh, wait, no, that strategy might actually pan out. Hold on. I can't believe that actually panned out. Make nostalgia out of Eggy. I miss the old Eggy. Well, look, okay, everything can become nostalgia. Like, everything. This stream itself could someday be, you're gonna, like, click back onto it in, like, you know, years from now and be like, man, those were the days. You know? It's like a magic wine. It's like a wine, but like a magic wine that you can make out of, like, anything. Like, you can make nostalgia out of literally anything. Where is... Oh, it's buried behind there. That's a problem. I don't like that. I think that's bad. Oh, wait, no, maybe... Hold on. Maybe it's bad, but it's, like, fixable. No, it's bad in a way that I can't fix. Hold on. If I, like, do this... This will not improve our situation. This will not improve our situation. Hold on. Nostalgic for the Great Depression. Well, I don't know, because, like, sometimes I think about how, like... You know how, like, they will be, like... Like, sometimes I think about how, like, there's certain foods that, like, old people Or like you know how people who like live through a war and there's like certain rations or something, or stuff that people made because like there wasn't like the normal amount and kinds of foods weren't available, so they like grew up eating, you know, some makeshift version of something else, and they developed nostalgia for that, right? Like stuff like that, right? Where it's like it's anything, you can literally make anything into nostalgia. Even like objectively bad times you can make. I was 2020 as an antisocial person, but I needed to get out of any social situation. It's like, oh, COVID, can't go. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. I was gonna say, because like, I'm trying to think of the things I'm like nostalgic for 2020. Like, I guess, like, I guess VTubers at the time. Like, I do understand people being like nostalgic for like early HoloLive English. I guess I'm nostalgic for, I think, certain TikTok audios, because I was using TikTok a lot at the time. So certain like TikTok audios and certain like fashion. I am kind of nostalgic for 2020 fashion, because I feel like 2020 fashion was like, because like I think a lot of people, because they weren't going out, they were at home and they're like, well, no one's gonna see me, so I might as well like experiment with that a little. So I feel like 2020 fashion just kind of went a bit wild, because like people were like suddenly more okay with, you know, wearing things that they wouldn't usually wear. So that I miss a little bit. Like, it's like things opened up again and people were like, okay, never mind, we're gonna go back to being normal. And it's like, wait, no! Wait, no! And like now, I don't know, sometimes I feel bad because I will see people online and they'll be like, especially people who were like in high school or who were like teenagers, like in the early pandemic times, and they were like, haha, remember how we used to like wear these like ridiculous things to go to like sit in Zoom class? And I'm like, no, that was good. You were cringe, but you were free. You can still be free. It's not too late. Nostalgic for EGGY Japan era? Oh, really? The era when I wasn't streaming. I'm nostalgic for when EGGY wasn't there and I didn't have to think about her all the time. No, I don't know. It's weird because I feel nostalgia for 2022, even though there was a lot of things happening at the time. I still feel nostalgic for 2022. I think I've screwed myself over. Like, there was a lot of stressful things happening in my life at that time. But yeah, I still feel a lot of nostalgia for, again, specifically summer 2022. I guess that was like the summer before I left for Japan, right? So like, and that was the first summer as well. I think that was the first summer in a while where like stuff was open. So like I went to a convention that year. Yeah, so nostalgia for the EGGY Japan era, for which I was there definitely. I definitely didn't follow EGGY later. Definitely. I don't know, sometimes I see people claim nostalgia for things they weren't alive for. That happens all the time. You've never seen people talk about like watching old cartoons that they were definitely alive to have watched? I don't know, borrowing nostalgia, I think, is definitely like a certain, it's a phenomenon that exists. It's a thing people do. Is this one even winnable? I'm having doubts here. I'm having heavy doubts. I think it was winnable, but I made like the wrong choice early on, and yeah. I did apparently follow you in 2023 and you checked the 2024 number in Fade Chat. Oh, okay, that's why. That's why. That's why I was confused. I guess that makes sense. That's why I was like, yeah, the other day I was in a collab with someone and I think Zelly had had mentioned, like, I don't remember how it came onto the topic, but I checked, I checked like how long has Zelly been following? And I'm like 2024. I'm like, no, he must have been there earlier. And the answer was that he was. I have zero nostalgia for Y2K internet aesthetics because I wasn't on the internet during that. I don't know. I think some of it too is like, especially for things that you were like too young to be able to like actually remember. I think the thing is that there's a lot of like, I think the reason why a lot of like Y2K aesthetic stuff is popular now is because like a lot of people my age, we weren't like quite old enough to like have actually, you know, used it or engaged with it. But it was like something that I think a lot of people grew up seeing like their older siblings using. And it was like a thing where you're like, yeah, when I'm like that was my thing when I was like a kid. I'm like, yeah, when I'm older, I'm going to be like a cool teenager and I'm going to have I don't know why my own CD player. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have my own CD player. Or I'm gonna have like, you know, a cell phone. I'm gonna have a cell phone. It's gonna have buttons. I guess I mean I guess my cell phone technically has buttons. It has like the volume buttons on the side. But like, I guess it was things that like people grew up being like, yeah, this is a thing I'm gonna do when I'm older. And then like by the time they got there, then everything had completely changed, right? So I think it's kind of that, right? Yeah, I guess it's more common because there was a lot less stuff to watch back then. I watched a ton of anime tokusatsu from before or around I was born. I mean, I think it's actually very normal to watch stuff from before you were born. Like in terms of like anime and movies and stuff. Because like, you know, most of animation history happened before I was born. Like, I think that's the case for most people now. Is that the appeal of Vaporwave? 80s nostalgia for people who weren't alive in that era? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Because Vaporwave, that was a popular, like, what, like... Yeah, I guess that was... But I don't know. I think some of it, too, as well, is that, like... There's a lot of stuff that I feel like borrows from certain eras, but, like, it's not, like, an accurate representation of what it was actually like at the time, right? Because I think about that when I see some stuff that's, like, labels itself as Y2K, and I'm like, I don't think this is Y2K. Like, maybe this is, like, a few years later? Like... Because it's not even a matter of, like, oh, this was what it was like in the early 2000s. It was like, Like, I feel like I see this a lot with hair and makeup. This is what I find interesting, actually, is that, like... A lot of the time fashion will come back, but I feel like a lot of the time hair and makeup stays the same. Like, I guess stuff from the past sometimes can seem kind of unpolished. So I feel like I've seen a lot of times where it's like somebody will be like dressed in, you know, period accurate, like, you know, period accurate clothes, but then like their hair and makeup looks very like recent, you know? And I don't know, I find that interesting, I guess. Like, it's like somehow the clothes can come back, but hair and makeup can't. Even on overlays and stuff, I think the idea is just to borrow the aesthetics. Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I think it's probably also the factor of like, because sometimes I think about how like, generally the cycle seems to be that like, stuff on the internet that is like, you know, 5 to 10, or like, okay, so there's stuff that's like, you know, very recent. There is the current stuff. Stuff that is like, you know, 5 to 10 years old on the internet, I feel, is like considered to be like outdated and cringe, right? And then stuff that's, you know, 10 to 15 years old is considered to be like sacred. Like, you see the way people talk about like, you know, like 2010 YouTube right now, right? It's like, yes, this was like a special time. And then anything older than, like, I guess 15 years is considered, like, ancient history. Which I'm just like, yeah, I guess stuff on the internet does happen quickly, so it's not like it's, like, an inaccurate way to look at things, but it's just, like, I don't know. It's 2016 memes are gonna have their revival. They're gonna have their day. They're gonna have their day again. Yeah. Yeah, we used to connect on the internet. It was like a whole setup to get online. Now you're just born on the internet. I mean, I guess that's one thing. I think another thing is that, like, I think it's more... I guess part of it was that it was, like, you have to get online. But I think now it's, like... It's now, like, an expectation, I guess. Whereas in the past, it was, like, some people use the internet and some people didn't. And that's how that worked. But, like, I guess now there is kind of, like, an expectation to be online. Yeah. As a representative of the 90s, yes, not everyone wore Jenko jeans and rollerblade. I don't know. I think I would too as well, because I've seen people talk about this when it comes to stuff like the 1950s. They're like, you know, everything, a lot of what we know about the past or what we, like, imagine the past to be is, like, advertisements. Because, like, I guess a lot of print media is advertising, right? So, like, yeah, a lot of the times when we think about, like, what did people, like, look like in the 50s? And it's like, what we're imagining, it's an ad, it's a commercial, right? Like, this is a print ad in like, a magazine. This is not what it looked like, actually. There'll be a time where that boy will come again. I think about that. I think about that meme more than I should. Someday we will find that boy again, and we'll look in his eyes and we'll go, "Oh shit, what up?" I miss that boy. That's a meme I can say. I'm like, yeah, I missed that one. That was a good one. I'm trying to think, what else was in 2016 that I'm like is due for a comeback? I think Harambe as a meme I think is pretty dead. I think that one's pretty dead. I don't see Harambe having any comebacks anytime soon. But you never know, I guess. And I remember in one of my classes in middle school, we had to use the internet for something, and a lot of people didn't have it yet and had to use the school library. Yeah, I'm not that old. I think by the time I was, like, old enough to use the internet on my own, most people had internet. Like, public Wi-Fi wasn't, like, everywhere yet, but, like, you know, if you went to a Starbucks, they would have public Wi-Fi. I think this was probably, like, 2009 or so, probably. Yeah, like, if you went out, there would be you could probably find public Wi-Fi somewhere, right? Harambe can stay dead, and well, I mean, due to how the physics of being alive work, I think he's gonna stay dead for a while. Yeah. Yeah, people probably still whip it out for him. I mean, I'm sure you could talk people into doing that. I'm so sorry that pronunciation of Doge is Doge and not Doge. Doge. I don't know, I've only ever... Is this gonna be like a GIF kind of thing? Because I feel like I've only ever heard people say Doge. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Doge. Like, that's a new one to me. Yeah. Oh, the 50s were better? Hope you're white and not Catholic or have some quirk. Yeah. Well, it's not even just that, but it's also just, like, even for, like, normal, average person. Like, it did not look like an advertisement, because that's the point of an advertisement, you know? Like, oh, I've made a... Whoops, okay. I think I just... With one thoughtless move, I have completely screwed myself over. Okay. It's like, I'm here. I'm that boy. What are you talking about? Oh shit, what up? Yeah, is F dying? I've been seeing what's happening in his place. Well, I mean, I think F, that was like a reference to something specific. Wasn't it like a Call of Duty game? Because I seem to remember the origin was a video game. It was like a video game and people were laughing because it was like a weird button prompt. It was like press F to pay respects. I feel like maybe, you know, maybe like because the origin was kind of lost, like, I feel like people still say F. Maybe that's gonna become a generational divide. Do you use F or do you use 07? I feel like that's gonna become like a new generational divide. Or like, I imagine probably like the uses of certain emojis. Like, it's funny because like, you know how like the emoji that people use to show that they are laughing has changed over time? Like, that feels like another thing where it's like, because people used to use, like, obviously, like, people used to use, like, you know, the laughing emoji, and then maybe, like, the laughing crying emoji. But then, like, over time, I've seen people use, like, the skull emoji. Like, it's changed a lot. I feel like that's gonna be, like, another generational divide of just, like, which one of these mean laughter? Which one of these mean laughter? Also, too, like, even between countries, I remember reading that, like, between Japan and, like, or, like, between Japanese speakers and English speakers, there's a lot of emojis that, like, the literal emoji will carry over, but, like, the usage is different. I think the example that they'd use was, like, the angel emoji, like, the little smiley with angel wings emoji. In English, people use it to signify, like, yeah, angel, like, I'm doing something nice. Whereas in Japanese, it's, like, kind of like, it's used kind of the same way we would use the skull emoji, where it's like, you know, laughing, or like kind of like, I'm dead. Like, so it's like, it turns out that these things are not universal. Yeah. The skull emoji's not laughing, is it? I thought it was like the other meaning of lol, not the laughing one. I don't know. I guess it's like laughing. To me, it's like laughing through the pain, kind of. Like, yeah, press X to doubt, which I think was from a David Cage game. No, press X to doubt was that was not David. No, it wasn't David Cage. It was the L.A. Noire. Press X to doubt was L.A. Noire, I think, right? I should play L.A. Noire. I think I bought it on Steam like 1 bajillion years ago, and my computer could not run it. Could not run it very well, but I'm like, maybe I'll get it on Switch or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's like a L.A. Noire. I've never finished it, but like I feel like I keep associating it with Amelia Watson, because like that was one of the first, like, early on, I think she streamed it, and I just remember at one point she just drove the car. She got herself stuck. She had to like reload because she like drove her car off like a cliff, and then it just somehow landed like directly stuck between two things, and she couldn't like back out or like move the car, so she just had to like reload her save because she just got too silly with the driving. That's mostly what I associate it with. Yeah. I had it on Xbox 360 and it fried my console. It was really intensive. And it was apparently like Advanced Warfare. Yeah, F was something Call of Duty. I don't remember I don't remember which one. I just know I've also never played any Call of Duty, so like I would not be able to tell you which one it is. Yeah, I think I've conflated it in Heavy Rain this whole time. Yeah, L.A. Noire isn't a David Cage gem. Yeah, I mean, L.A. Noire, everything I know about L.A. Noire is that, like, apparently it had, like, a really, really difficult development period because they were, like, super ambitious about it. Or something. I just remember hearing, like, that was, like, one of the first time I was, like, constantly hearing about, like, conversation about, like, treatment of game, like, poor treatment of game developers because it was, like, such an insane, intensive project that, like, they just had everybody working, like, insane overtime. Or something like that. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else as well. But that's mostly what I remembered about it going in, was like, ah, yes. It was really difficult to make this game. It's a wonder that it got released. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like... Am I screwed? Hold on. I don't see any other moves I can make from here, so I'm gonna assume I cannot, that none of them can be done. It cannot be done. Cannot be done. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Okay. I know there's like been a bajillion Call of Duties. Hasn't there been like multiple games in the Call of Duty franchise that are called Modern Warfare? So like when people talk about them, they have to like specify like what year they came out. Why do they keep doing that? Why do they keep doing that? But yeah, you're right that I feel like pressing F to pay respects is dying out. Or what's another thing I feel like I saw all the time? I feel like there's a lot of genres of YouTube that have kind of maybe not died out, but I feel like they've moved elsewhere. Like I feel like a lot of like beauty and fashion stuff, like there definitely still is people doing it on YouTube, but I feel like a lot of it has like migrated to like TikTok and Instagram, which I guess makes sense, right? I guess makes sense. It's not like that's a thing that happened out of the blue. Cause yeah, I feel like I remember like YouTube makeup tutorials being like a huge deal for a while. And then they just kind of stopped. But I don't know if it's just like we stopped hearing about it. But I feel like that was like a huge deal for a while. I accomplished nothing. Hold on. I have accomplished nothing. But yeah, honestly, okay. I need to think because I'm like realizing why am I like having such like a memory hole when it comes to stuff that happened in 2016 in terms of memes. Let me just search up 2016 meme to try to like jog my memory. Oh, okay, it's all coming back. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. Here we go. What do we have here? We have, okay, some of these I still see. Okay, some of these we still see. This Is Fine apparently seems to have been like a thing from that time. I still see This Is Fine, like the dog, you know, little comic of the dog sitting in the house on fire. That definitely I still see. We got, yeah, Here Comes That Boy. JoJo memes. Okay, some of these I still see. I think the Kermit meme, like the Kermit in the hoodie meme, that was okay. It looked like that was from there. Okay, to be fair, some of these have lived longer than I thought. Some of these have lived longer than I expected. Like I feel like We Are Number One is still sort of relevant. Yeah, boy. I feel like that's not okay. Maybe that one's a little dated. I feel like dabbing. That was dabbing pre or post 2016. I'm trying to remember if people did it when I was in high school. I guess Whip and Nene I think was a little earlier though. We Are Number One isn't really relevant. Yeah, but the point is that like if you show it to, I don't know, is it relevant? I feel like every so often it resurfaces. Apparently the if a dog wore pants, would they wear it like this or like this is apparently also from 2016, it seems. Yeah. Dabbing always like, I think, I don't know, every era has like a funny pose that has to like trend, you know? Yeah. Dabbing comes and goes around. Yeah. Let's see. It looks like Pen, Pineapple, Apple Pen. That was like also from the time. The Arthur fist meme was also 2016. I don't know why I thought that one was later, but maybe I wasn't as in tune with the times as I thought I was. Was Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life? Was that 2016? That feels actually that might have been a bit earlier actually. I feel like I remember people talking about that in when I was in high school, so I feel like that must have been earlier. I'm seeing like MLG Gaming air horns. I think that was very, very 2016. Yeah. Fancy handshakes were a thing in the 90s, early 2000s. I don't see that coming back in internet for... Well, the thing is that I think it's something you can't really recreate on the internet. Right? At least not without it feeling kind of forced. Like, I feel like that's a thing that only works when you're in person. But, yeah, I think... I'm trying to think specifically, too, because I feel like I was on Tumblr at the time, and I'm trying to remember if there was, like, anything that sticks out to me at the time. But I feel like everything from Tumblr is either, like, I can think of as either too early or too late. Like, I definitely remember, if you guys were on Tumblr at the time, you guys remember that post that was, like, you know that one that was, like, do you like the color of the sky? And the thing most people remember it for is being incredibly annoying, because like the premise of the post, like the post itself is not that annoying, because it's like the post itself was like, it says, do you like the color of the sky? And then it was like this really long image of you know, the sky turning, like, you know, it was basically just a long gradient of like, you know, going from like, you know, light blue to like orange, pink to like nighttime, and then the post ends by saying which one. And most of what I remember it for was that it was very annoying to run into, because the first time you see it, you're like, oh, that's a nice post. Very cool. But the thing is that it was such a popular post, and the way that Tumblr worked is that, like, if more than one of your friends reblogged a thing, it would show up on your timeline more than once, right? So because it was such a long post, and Tumblr posts weren't, like, shortened when you scrolled, right? Like, when you scrolled, you would always see the whole thing, almost all the time. So basically it meant that, like, if multiple of the people you follow reblogged it, then it was like you're seeing this insanely long post multiple times in one scroll. And I think that's mostly what people remember it for, was like, you know, every single time one of their what we call today called oomfies would reblog it, it's like, oh god, not this thing again. Yeah, what was the Tide Pod challenge again? I think that was that must have been a bit later, because when I was in high school, the thing was was it the cinnamon one? What was it called again? It wasn't just the cinnamon challenge. There was like a different word for it. But no, the cinnamon one, that was like the big one where you would like eat a spoonful of cinnamon. There was a it was a cinnamon one. There was Ice Bucket Challenge, that was like 2014, I think. That was earlier. Tide Pod. Tide Pods must have been a little later, because I don't remember anybody talking about that in high school, I don't think. But maybe it was 2016. But yeah, I think the idea of like the era where everything was a challenge. Everything was a challenge. I mean, people, it's not like people don't challenge themselves anymore. But like, I feel like that was definitely like a thing of the time where it's like everything is the blank challenge, you know? It's like the like, you know, the Tide Pod challenge, and like half the time it wasn't really something challenging, it was just like a thing you do. Oh, that was another one, was I remember that was super controversial around the time, was the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. Which that was one that like everybody was like up in arms about, because basically like it was like a thing where you would like put like a cup, basically it was supposed to make your lips bigger, but you would like basically put a cup around your lips and like basically just like suction cup your lips really hard, and it was supposed to make them look bigger, and like sometimes it would work, but it was also cause like bruising around your mouth, obviously, because you're like pressing a thing super hard. So like that was one thing that like everybody was like up in arms about for a while. Yeah. Man, all this stuff is wild. All this stuff is post-college for me, so I have no idea when anything happened. Yeah. Well, it's like, I think there's also too just like the factor of like, there's always like a buffer depending on how online you were at the time. I feel like there was like a buffer between like when stuff would happen and when you would hear about it. So sometimes there's things where I'm like, oh yeah, this happened in this year, and everybody is like, actually that was much older, and I'm like, was it? I guess memes had longer lifespans back then though, so reasonably there's something that like, you know, could have happened in 1 year and people were still talking about it like a year or two later. But there's one thing though. Oh, what is it? I think the Big Knees kind of killed it when their skeletons came out of the closet. Yeah. Well, I think that was like, yeah, memes that survive tend to just get integrated into our everyday language. That's true. We just stopped thinking of them as memes. That's true. Yeah. Like someone might still say yeet. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like though it becomes like considered language from a time. Like, I don't know. Would the children think I'm lame if I told them I yeeted something? I feel like they might. Like, it's not in the sense of like they don't know what that word means, but like in the sense of like this is language that that old people use. You know, like maybe it might just one day become like not old people speak, but like You know how people talk about, like, oh, gotta stay hip. Like, nobody uses the word hip unironically anymore. They almost exclusively use it in the context of, like, old person trying to sound young. Like, I don't know, it's like how people associate, like, the word, like, doggo with, like, millennials now. Yeah. Yeah, rapidly approaching the 30s. Yeah, like, I'm trying to think, like, things... Yeah, you're right that yeet is now just, like, a word in my vocabulary now. Future children will make fun of me for being eepy. I think adulting is currently having another type of that kind of thing, of, like, people being like, ah, this is the word that we use to identify you as a millennial, if you use this word. Let's see. Yeah. Mahjong Friday and Solitary Fridays. Good morning, Nanada. I don't know. I fell back on Solitaire because I didn't know what else to stream today. I didn't know what else to stream today, so we're playing Solitaire. We're playing Solitaire. It is what it is. I might make foolish moves, but that is okay. There we go. Okay. No, I think I'll get this one. I think we'll be fine. I'm thinking we'll probably be fine. We're just doing a lot of moving things back and forth. There we go. Yeah. Hello, Nanoda. We are talking about outdated memes. Do you have a specific meme from about 10 years ago that you remember fondly? Like and subscribe. Share in the comments. Okay, let's switch to a different kind of solitaire. I'm kind of getting tired of that one. Let's do the Jongletaire. Let's do Jongletaire. We're doing Jongletaire. Yeah. Spanish memes are a different beast altogether. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I imagine there's probably some that carried over, right? That would have carried over to English. But then again, I guess there's memes. There are memes that I don't even know about because they're all happening in other countries, in other languages. There's probably a lot more memes I don't even know about. I don't know. I do enjoy... I remember that was like a trend a little while back where people were making compilations of like memes in like... memes from their country or from their language that like weren't carrying over to the English internet. And I thought that was like a really interesting trend. Like people would like upload them with like translations and like, you know, like cultural like translators notes, and I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. Yeah, Rickrolling is universal. That's true. And Rickrolling, I think, has also never died. Like, it still keeps happening. People are still doing it. Which I think is interesting. Like, it never became like, oh, cringe millennial thing to Rickroll somebody. Like... Yeah. Wait a minute. Who are you? Meme was back then. Yeah, Kazoo Kid. I don't know. Wait a minute. Who are you? I think wait a minute. Who are you? I feel like can live on though, in the sense of like, I feel like I've had that thought when like, mostly when with like stories of like, wait a minute. Who are you? I feel like I've definitely had that kind of feeling with certain stories where they like reintroduce a character that you don't remember or something. You're like, Solitaire Friday is a new ritual. No, Solitaire Friday is not going to be the new ritual. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Solitaire will be like my new, I mean, I guess it's a good yapping game, right? Like, I do have to think a little bit or I screw myself over, but like, it's a fairly decent yapping game. I mean, truly, most games on this channel are just like a paper-thin excuse to yap, you know? The yapping is the point. The yapping is the point. Everything else is incidental. Oh god, Blue Black Dress was 2015. Yeah, Yanni and Laurel. Yeah, Blue Black Dress. That I remember. But I don't know. I feel like Blue Black Dress. If I see people like referencing Blue Black Dress, then like usually it's kind of like a haha, remember this kind of thing. Yeah. 2015, 2016 had some strong memes because Vine existed back then. Yeah, probably a lot of what we remember is Vine. I also think that, like, I feel like Blue Black Dress... I feel like... Because, like, I feel like now with memes, a lot of stuff, too, is, like, really specific to, like, specific online communities, right? Like, there will be memes that are like VTuber memes, and the only people who understand them are people who watch VTubers. And then there's going to be like memes that only people who watch sports will understand, or memes only people who like watch anime will understand. I feel like it's a bit more like divided up now, and there are some that will carry over, but like not necessarily. And there's also memes that are specific of like, okay, this thing is only on TikTok, or this is like only on like a certain platform. Whereas I feel like back then, like I definitely remember the Blue Black Dress, like everybody on everything was talking about it, right? Like it was just like a phenomenon of the entire internet rather than just of one specific, like, I guess fandom or like one specific space. You know, Eggy has the right colors for the dress. Yeah, is this Eggy white and yellow or blue and black? Hold on. I was like, maybe I could change the colors in VTube Studio. I'll have to go in and like change the colors in VTube Studio. Is this Eggy white and yellow or blue and black? Wasn't it actually blue and black? I seem to remember, because I was convinced I was in the white and yellow camp, but wasn't like it actually. I believe they posted like another picture of it later, and like it actually was blue and black. Oops. I've won this game 69 times, and the game wants me to keep it that way. Do links actually work? They should. Yeah, the dress was blue-black, I believe. I didn't say white or gold at all. To me, okay, to be fair, initially it was white-gold. Like, I feel like at that point you would fall into whatever camp you fell into the first time you look at the picture. Because to me, I always thought, I was like, yeah, this is white-gold. But then when I would look at it later, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe it is blue-black. But to me, I guess it also depends what device you were looking at it on, because I imagine stuff like screen brightness and stuff probably could have affected it too, right? Yeah. It was blue and black, and then they made a special one later that was white and gold. Okay, so they did make both. They did make both. Yeah. Goes Hada Yuka is 19 years old. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what I also think is interesting? Is like, and maybe this is just like in my experience, but like Danganronpa is how old? It's like a 15-year-old game now, right? The first Danganronpa came out what? Hold on. Danganronpa release date. 2010, yeah. So this is a 15-year-old game. It's gonna be 15 like this November. And I was like, it's so weird because it's like it's still very relevant. But I feel like a lot of people talk about it as if it was like a game that came out like a couple years ago. And I'm like, no, this is a game that's like, this game is soon gonna be old enough to like, you know, have its like driver's learning permit. Like, this is not like a recent game, but nobody talks about Danganronpa as like an old game. I guess it's just like, I mean, I guess it's aged that well. It's just aged that well, but like, it's aged so well that everybody thinks it's a new game. Everybody talks about it like it's still new, and it's like, no, this is old. This is old. This is quite old. Caramel Dancing is 24. 24. Sorry, old person. I mean, Caramel Dancing is 24. Well, like, I don't know. All the memes we're talking about from like 2016, 2017, those things are like almost 10 years old, right? A child born in the Harambe era of memes is old enough now to read the Warrior Cats series. Danganronpa is basically a Sonic-like game. Zolly, I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that, like... Please elaborate. Please elaborate on what you mean by this. Zolly, please elaborate. In what sense is Danganronpa a Sonic-like game? That is a terrible sentence today. You're the one who said it. You're the one who said it. And we're gonna all need you. Everyone is looking at you. We're all eagerly waiting for you to elaborate on what you meant by this. Quite literally, what did he mean by this? What did he mean by this? Legitimately and unironically, what did he mean by this? The idea that every game is Mario or Sonic. Actually, I think that would be fun. Is this game Mario or Sonic? And we're not like judging this based on like a game mechanics or anything. We're just judging it like entirely on vibes. You're like, Danganronpa, Ace Attorney is a Mario. Danganronpa is a Sonic. Like Professor Layton, that's a Mario. You know, Splatoon, that's Sonic. That's Sonic. Despite being from Nintendo, it's Sonic. The Warrior Cat sentence, I mean. Oh, okay. I think it's more of a flair over substance kind of game. I mean, yeah, it's stylish. I think the thing is that, like, because it was, like, originally made for the PSP, right? And then it was kind of remastered. So I think the fact that they were, like, at the time, they were kind of working with technical constraints, right? But I feel like... Oh, wait, that was dumb. Why did I do that? Hold on. But I think because of the technical constraints, it kind of made it age a bit better. It's like how, like, Earthbound, I feel, has aged better than some other games from the same console. Because, like, it was like, okay, we're going to take this up to the limit. We're going to see, like, how far can we take the technology, and then we're going to, like, dial it back a couple steps. And I feel like that kind of approach usually ages better. Like... The Warrior Cat sentence was profound. You could schism an institution with that. To be fair, I read Warrior Cats when I was about 8 or... Maybe not 8, but like... I think I was like grade 4, so I would have been like 9 years old? I was about 9 years old when I read it. I don't know at what age other kids read Warrior Cats. I don't know if I was like ahead or behind when it comes to Warrior Cats. So, to be fair, like, you can just be like, oh, well, maybe a kid who's like an advanced reader could have read Warrior Cats. You can comfort yourself with that thought. If it makes you feel better, if it brings you any comfort. Yeah, is Solitaire Mario or Sonic? I'm gonna say Mario. I'm gonna say Mario. Yeah, despite appearing to be a Mario game, Ace Attorney is actually Sonic. Wait, so Dark Souls is Mario, but Code Vein is Sonic. Every game is either Prince of Persia or Monkey Island, and Danganronpa is Monkey Island. I feel like that's a case of like... I feel like, wouldn't that be more of a case of like, is this more like text and puzzles, or is this more jumping and platforming? Because to me, when I was going by vibes when it came to like Mario and Sonic, is like Mario is like... I feel like Mario is like very... maybe not conventional is the right word, but like, you know... like, it's cute, it's nice, it's well made, but it's still, like, you know, accessible to all. Whereas I feel like Sonic is, like, supposed to be, like, the, like, edgy, like, more, like, attitude-ish kind of... So that's why I was like, Ace Attorney is Mario, and Danganronpa is Sonic. Like, that's the way I was thinking about it, because I'm like, okay, Danganronpa is supposed to be, like, kind of loud and edgy, and then Mario, Ace Attorney, is supposed to be the one that's, like, you know, still good, but, like, it's more, like, accessible to the average person, I guess. That was my logic. That was my logic for my... Yeah. Is it mashing buttons or clicking and reading? It's like, where do fighting games fall in this? Like, is Street Fighter a Mario or a Sonic? Solitaire is Mario, Mahjong is Sonic? I don't know. I feel like I might put it the other way around. I guess Mahjong has a bit more of an element of, like, luck, maybe compared to Solitaire, but... I wouldn't say Solitaire is Sonic. I would not say Solitaire is Sonic. I feel like Solitaire... Honestly, they might both be Mario, really. Yeah. Is it mashing buttons or clicking and reading? Yeah, all fighting games are platformers are mashing, all puzzles are reading. I guess that's true, because I've definitely seen people who are also good at one, but not the other. Like, I'm terrible at mashing buttons, but I like to think I'm, like, competent at solving puzzles. But I've definitely seen people who have experienced it the exact other way around. But then again, where does like turn-based combat stuff? Like, where would something like JRPGs or like Pokemon fall? Where would that fall? Is that button mashing or is that puzzles and reading? Zelda Ocarina of Time is reading, but Skyward is mashing? It really makes you think. What about Breath of the Wild? Where does that fall? Where does that one fall? Street Fighter is Mario, BlazBlue is Sonic. Yeah. All fighting games are actually puzzles. There are Mario RPGs. Yeah, where is the Mario RPG actually Sonic? Reading. Okay, so JRPGs are reading, but Dark Souls is mashing. Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. It's like that one... I saw that one game that was like... It was like all adventure games are either... They're either Ace Attorney or Zero Escape. And it was like... Ghost Trick is actually a Zero Escape, despite being by the Ace Attorney creator. And I, the Somnium Files is actually an Ace Attorney, despite being made by the Zero Escape creator, which is... It's funny, but it's also not an assessment I agree with. I think Zero Escape... I think I, the Somnium Files is still a Zero Escape. But... Yeah, Tears is reading. Breath of the Wild is mashing, but Tears is reading. I don't know. I guess it depends on... I don't know, though. Wouldn't it depend more on how people are playing it, though? Because there are definitely probably some people who play, like, Tears of the Kingdom as, like, I imagine you can probably still be thoughtful about Breath of the Wild, and you can still button mash in Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like, it might just depend on preferred playstyle there, where it's like some people prefer to, like, turn their brain off and mash buttons, and then other people will prefer to put a lot of thought into stuff. Yeah. Whether JRPG puzzle game or mashing game depends on your power level. Normal Pokemon game is mashing. Nuzlocke puzzle. Yeah, again, but that comes down to playstyle, right? Like, that doesn't really come down to the actual innate qualities of the game. Like, anything can become a mashing game if you play it with your brain completely off, right? Tales of can go either way. Yeah, what are like Final Fantasy? I guess that'd be a reading game, I guess. What are rhythm games? I guess rhythm games are also button mashing. Like it's like, you know, button mashing at a specific time, but it's still button mashing. No, you still need to win. I mean, yeah, but like, winning does not necessarily mean that you're playing the game correctly, right? Okay, thinking time. Rhythm games are just solo fighting games. Whether a rhythm game is a button masher or not depends on how hard you get punished for misinputs. I guess... But... I guess so it depends on, like, the leniency. But... Maybe also, too, I imagine... Because, like, you know how some rhythm games have, like, a bajillion buttons? Like, maybe, like... Rhythm games that require more than 4 buttons are like a button masher, and anything that requires like less than, or like 4 or less, then that would be a like a thinky game. So that by that logic, I guess like Rhythm Heaven or like Taiko no Tatsujin would be like thinky ones, and then something like I don't know. I guess something like Chunibun would be a button mashing game, or Mai Mai. Can't Eggy just suck up the tunes? I feel like you said that in the same way that you would say, like, you know that thing of like, why does the bigger one not just eat the smaller one? Rhythm Heaven is a masher, but you need to be precise. So then it's not a masher. I feel like imprecision to me is like the mark of like a button mashing game. I feel like imprecision. Like I feel like if it requires too much precision, then I feel that it kind of like gets itself out of the button mashing category, you know? Then it doesn't count anymore. At least, again, that's my logic. That's my logic. But then again, maybe sometimes it might just be like the mark of like a poor quality one. Because like I guess if you can like if anyone can button mash their way to victory, then I guess it's just like not a very well made game, right? Yeah, meanwhile Sound Voltex with its knobs. Yeah, or with its like EGGY with its everything. EGGY is like the most rhythm game of all time. It's not the best one, but it's the most one. There is a lot going on there. It's doing everything. Okay, this is not going to play out well for me. I'm going to take a break because I am dealing with the consequences of drinking water. But I will be back momentarily. I will be back momentarily, and I'll probably just start a new game, to be honest. Okay, let's be back. Enjoy the bangin'... Enjoy the bangin', Solitaire music, I guess? Actually, I might just switch back to the regular BGM. Okay, one moment. The farmer's market? You would just abandon us at the farmer's market like this. Unbelievable. I literally came back. Can't leave the eggplants for 5 minutes. You guys are gonna start doing the, like, you know how, like, they made the, like, Ooh, I Miss Fauna website? I think they now they have, like, an Ooh, I Miss Nimmy one, too. You guys are gonna make, like, Ooh, I Miss Eggy. I miss Eggy.com. And it's just gonna be, Ooh, I Miss Eggy. It's just gonna be, Ooh, I Miss Eggy. Okay, back to Zhong music vibin'. Yeah, you guys are just gonna make I Miss Eggy.com. It's gonna be like, ooh, I miss Eggy. Ooh. Ooh. You guys are gonna ooh. You're gonna be ooh all the time. You know how I was talking earlier about, like, how there seems to be, like, some meme, like, memes are very community specific now. I feel like ooh is like, ooh has wormed itself into my vocabulary, and I can't get it out. I cannot, like, exercise this from my vocabulary. Unfortunately, nobody who doesn't watch VTubers knows what this means. So, I just keep going, ooh, ooh. Oh, bird BGM still on? I thought I clicked. Did I not click it right? Did I click it wrong? There we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Boat goes binted? Boat goes binted. Bow, bow. Yeah. Sticking out your grat for Narizzler. I mean, to be fair, I guess that was based on, like, an existing meme from somewhere else, but, like... Ooh, ooh, ooh. I can't stop saying ooh. This will cause problems in the future. Ooh. Yeah. Ow. Ah. Ah. No confidence. I picked up a few very bad mimetic phrases from being exposed to them on Twitter. Now I'm trying to be aware of too much. Blue Archive was a mistake. Like, I mean, I don't think it's possible to, like, never use a meme. I don't think it's possible, nor would it be advisable, I guess. Like, that's just how speech works, right? You will say a meme. I'm sorry, I'm the one who had to break this to you. Yeah. It's normal for girls. Tomorrow! Or there was, like, the follow-up, the Fuamoko follow-up of, like, not tomorrow! Today! Today! Or what some other ones? Like... This one. What was that again? Like, if anyone writes cute and funny, I immediately think about how that person might have been exposed to things. Yeah. Well, sometimes things are... that one's annoying, because sometimes things really are just cute and funny. There's a lot of things in this world that do fit that description. But not its implications, you know? Why did I do that? That move made no sense. Why did I do that? Iggy's straining herself for VTuber memes. No! I will not die of HoloLive meme. I will not die. Or I think, or there was some early ones. I seem to remember, like, early on there was, like, Marines, like, I'm honey. That was a big one. I feel like that one's still around. Like, even her, I feel like her new song title is, like, a reference to that. Yeah, like they're very specific, I think, to HoloLive though. Like no one else will know what they mean. Ah, there we go. Big eggy focus. Big eggy focus. There we go. Big eggy focus. Success. Sort of. Probably not really. Something resembling success. I don't think I'm giving this enough thought. I don't think I'm thinking hard enough here. Oh, wait, maybe I'm thinking the right amount. Maybe I'm thinking the right amount. No, I'm not. Okay, hold on. No, I'm not thinking enough. I'm not thinking enough. I did not think remotely hard enough. Yeah, I think Miss Monomone goes this one, this one, this one. Miss KK Cyber will infect you with calling everything she. I don't know. I guess I think of this for Bodega too. Like bacon, egg, and cheese. I think about bacon, egg, and cheese. I think about bacon, egg, and cheese, and specifically calling it bacon, egg, and cheese. I think. Bacon, egg, and cheese. This is not the most thoughtful way to go about this, but when has it ever? When has it ever been? You're my favorite customer. Yeah, you're my favorite customer. Sorry, I am processing. My brain is processing. I am processing egg. We're dealing with the many egg processes running here. There we go. There we go. Okay. I can be competent. I can be competent. Look at how competent I am at this game. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm competent. Let's go back to competence. We are competent. We are very competent. We are being competent. I'm being very competent. I'm being very competent. I don't know. The saving grace of YouTube is that I don't have to worry about people like backseating me at this. Because by the time I've made a move, it's probably already too late. It's probably already too late. It quite literally might actually be too late. I think I've made some irreversible errors here, I think. I think I've made some very irreversible errors. Yes, oh no, that's very irreversible. That's very irreversible. That there's no coming back from that. It legitimately is so over. It is so over. I don't know. I wonder what my win rate for this thing is. Because I know it tells you here how many times you've won in the corner. But I don't know. I don't know like how many games I've played though. Maybe it's sparing me. Maybe the game is sparing me. The game is like, oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know how many games you've lost, so we're just not going to tell you because it's only going to make you sad. Yeah, the YouTube 10-second delay moment. Yeah, it's saving me from backseating. You can't backseat me when I've already done the thing. It's too late. Be faster next time. What do you mean you couldn't have just predicted what I was going to do before I did it? I thought you were a backseater. I thought you knew these things. I thought you knew these things. Clearly you must know everything or else you wouldn't be backseating me. Obviously. No, that was a mistake. Okay, maybe that was not a mistake. No, I think that was a mistake. Now this would be a mistake. But I don't really have any other options though. Oh, wait. I know it wouldn't be a mistake. There we go. This would not be a mistake. This would not be a mistake. This might be a mistake. I think that would be a mistake probably, yeah. That'd be a mistake. This is not a mistake though. Oh, we might, oh, hold on. I see the light at the end of the tunnel here. There we go. No more mistakes. No more mistakes. Everything from here on in, I don't think I can make any mistakes. Everything from here on out, I think, is going to be more or less the correct answer. Or at least something resembling the correct answer. Oh, wait, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Not as much as I thought, at least. Hind seating. Yeah. Hind seat. Back seating is 2020. I don't know how you backseat Solitaire. Well, I don't know. It would have been like, oh, you should have moved this card here. Or you should have moved, you should have stacked, you shouldn't have combined that stack. That was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? Terrible dimwit streamer. I'm revoking I'm canceling my membership. Not membership, I'm canceling my subscription. How could she do this to me? How could she do this to me? Maybe if I redistribute this to other piles, maybe this will work out. It won't, but like it could. If I believe in myself really hard. Oh, there we go. Here we go. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. What? The whole key is that 4. That 4 that's like stuck under all the other cards. That's the key here. That's the key here. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe... No, that would be a mistake and also a bad idea. Oh, but... Oh, okay, never mind. No more mistakes. Only big brain. Only big brain. There we go. There we go. No more mistakes. No more mistakes. We're winning. We're winning. Let's try a couple more of this. Then we'll move on to something else. We'll move on to the really difficult one. The really difficult one. Then we'll have a difficult time. I don't know. I don't know. I keep thinking about how like there's some games that are like really popular to backseat. Like, you know how I remember people telling me like, oh yeah, be careful if you ever stream like Dark Souls because people love to backseat that one. And I'm like, I wonder what makes something like a popular backseating game. Like, not necessarily to like watch people play, but specifically to backseat people who are playing it. Like, I wonder what makes like a backseating. Like, what are the factors that cause a game to become like a backseating game? Like a game that people specifically like to backseat. Like, what is the anatomy of a backseating game? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have moved that 3 up there, but it's too late now. We will never know what would have happened. We never know what would have been if I hadn't done that, so we just have to deal with it. Looks like we're doing fine anyway, though, so might have been worth it. Might have been worth it. Maybe anything with a build? Oh, yeah, I guess. But, like, I don't know. Outside of Dark Souls, what are some other, like, common backseating games? Because I feel like Dark Souls is the one that comes to mind specifically for me. Because, like, I don't know. I don't generally see people, like, backseating, like, visual novels, despite the fact that, like, that would be, like, an easier thing, technically, to backseat. There we go. Quick and easy. Oh, and collectibles. Maybe it depends. Pokemon? Oh yeah, that's another one. You know what I think maybe it depends on is like how frustrating is it to watch somebody being bad at the game? Maybe that's what it comes down to. Is like maybe games that are like, you know, really difficult to watch if the person playing it is bad at it might cause more backseating to happen, maybe? I feel like I could definitely see that. But like then again, isn't that like every game? Like every game sucks to watch if the person playing it is bad at it? Like is that I think that's probably most games. Okay, this is a bit of an unconventional technique, but yeah. Any puzzle game will have a lot of people just giving all the answers. Yeah, well, it's like, I think people underestimate when it comes to streaming. Because, like, I reckon that most people who stream are probably better at games, like, like when they're playing on their own than they are on stream. Because I think people kind of underestimate, like, how difficult it is to competently game while talking. Like, this is something that's, I think, harder than some people think. Not that it's, like, the hardest thing ever, but, like, to be able to do two things competently is actually quite difficult. So, like, yeah, I can see why it would be... why some people would find that difficult. Streamer brain is real. Well, yeah, because it's like... I don't know. It's like trying to do anything else while talking, right? Like, it's harder than you think it would be. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things you don't really think about if you don't stream. I don't know. I'm always on the fence when people are like, streaming is an easy job. Because, like, I don't know. I guess it is easy in the sense that, like, there's certain things that you don't have to think about with streaming that you probably would for other jobs. But I don't know, to say, that doesn't mean there aren't parts of it that aren't challenging, right? I don't know. I'm always on the fence about that. Bam. Bam. There we go. There we go. Let's do one more so I can bring my win count to 75. That's like a nice... I don't know if round number is the right word for it. But it's a number that feels satisfying enough. Now, I hope the game does not try to sabotage me in my quest to make it to 75. No sabotage, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I guess I could just clear up space. You know, I think I didn't even need the game to sabotage for me. I think I just sabotaged myself. I think I just sabotaged myself. I didn't need the game to help me with it. I just did everything incorrectly myself. I didn't need the help. I didn't need the help. There we go. I'm dying of solitaire eggplants. I'm dying of solitaire. I'm dying of solitaire reasons. I'm perishing. I'm literally dead. Do people still say that? I feel like that's become another part of a millennial speak. It was like, oh, I remember people used to be really up in arms about the words like, I can't even. That was one I remember people were like, oh, you can't even what? You can't even what, huh? Can't even what? That was a big one back in the day. That was a real heavy hitter of internet terms. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, hold on a second. There we go. Like, literally. Yeah, I remember that was, like, a huge thing, because people used to be like, somebody would be like, oh, I'm literally dying, and then somebody would also be like, actually, I think you mean, figuratively? If you were literally dying, then, you would not be able to be, telling me this right now? Actually? Didn't they, like, go back and change the dictionary definition, where it's like, you know, literally means literally, but then colloquially it can also mean figuratively? Like, they had to go back and change that one because they're like, I mean, I guess the dictionary exists to tell you, like, what words mean, not what they should mean, so. Because, like, if everyone starts using a word incorrectly, eventually that will just become part of the definition, right? It's just like, actually. Okay, here we go. This is the tough one. This is the real difficult solitaire. This is the real difficult solitaire. Because it adds... Okay, this one's weird because this one adds things that you think would make the solitaire easier, but it actually makes it more challenging. So, this one, there is 4 suits of cards that go from 2 to king. And then you have these tarot cards, these numbered tarot cards. So the tarot cards, like the regular suits have to go in order here, like, but the tarot cards can be summoned to this pile in ascending or descending order, which you think would make it easier, but doesn't. Cards can also be stacked in either direction, so I could put the 4 into the 3, or I could put the 3 on top of the 4, and both would work. But they do have to, like, attach somewhere. Oh, good morning, Faye. Look at her being addicted. Look. Actually, I'm not addicted to Solitaire anymore. I'm actually addicted to 100 line now. Get it right. Get with the times. Get with the times. Get with the times. But yeah, this one I think, for me, my general like strategy for this one is always aim to keep one space open, because sometimes you need to like use it to switch directions on stuff. So it can be very useful for that. At least the other nice thing is that everything automatically goes to the pile once it's available, so that's convenient. That's pretty convenient, I think. But this is one of those games where you really have to think like 2 steps ahead. Like, you can't move a card unless you know what you want to do with the card behind it. Because otherwise you're going to get stuck really quickly. In the way that I might be right now. So yeah, see how I need to flip this 10-9 over? And I can flip this over like this. Oh, I screwed myself over there. I guess that attaching it to the jack will have to wait. Yeah. Why not both? Eggy has not done a single thing in the past week because she's too busy playing Solitaire. This might be a mistake. No, this is not a mistake because it means that I can put this down here. There we go. And then I can put this No, I cannot. Or, well, I can do that, but I shouldn't. Here's the other thing, too, is generally I try to keep them... If I'm stacking cards, I try not to put the king at the end if I can help it. Just because usually I find when that happens, then, like, it's very easy to, like, have everything fall apart because you can't stack anything on top of the king, right? It's over. It's not over. What do you... It's not over. We literally just started. It cannot be over that quickly. It can be over quickly, but not that quickly. Oh, wait. Hold on. See? It's not over. It's not over. Look at it. Look at how not over it is. Look at that. See? Not over. Is there anything I can slide to the pile? No. Okay. Did that do anything beneficial? That did not provide any tangible benefit. Let's see. See, there we go. It's not over. It's not over. It's quite literally not over. Look how not over it is. Whoa, look at this. Look at this. See? Not over. Completely not over. And this also means I can do this. That means I can do this. I can do this. And then it won't be over. See? Look at all those cards flying in. It's not over. It's quite literally not over. And I can move this over here, and it won't be over. It's not over. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell me, oh, this is cope? Like, why is it cope? I'm still moving the cards, am I not? See? And I can do this. And I can even move this back. So I can keep that space clear. And look at this. Look at this. There we go. It's not over. It literally isn't over. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Is that great? It's because it's not over. It's because it isn't over. Now where do I go from here is the question. Because I have to flip this around in order to get the 10-9. I just don't think that one's going to happen. At least not yet. At least not yet. There's many other places we can take this. It's not over yet. Where is our 21? The tarot cards go up to 21. Okay, so the 21's way up here. Which is not an especially convenient location to have it in right now. But we can do this because it's not over. Because it's not over. See? Look at those cards flying. I can competently play this game. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Is that a lovely sight? All those cards flying around. It's great. Spectacular. Lovely. No, actually we can move this because it's not over. And we can move this here. We can springboard these over here. We're like reaching new and unprecedented levels of things not being over. This is quite literally the opposite of it's over. You know, now it's over because it's been done. It's over because it's done. Behold, never say it's over. It's only over when you're literally dead. What was more addictive, this or Balatro? I feel like both, but for different reasons. For completely different reasons. Because Balatro, I think you can adapt more strategies, I think, when it comes to Balatro, right? Whereas this, I feel like it's a little tougher to get, like, one concrete strategy. I feel like Balatro has more certainty, if that makes sense. Like, not much in this game is certain, I think, compared to Balatro. Far fewer things are certain. I think another thing that is certain in this game, though, is that, like, you can't, like I said, you can't be short-sighted, but I think it's not just about thinking ahead, it's also about, like, with this one specifically, it's about, like, patience, I guess? Because a lot of the times, the move that you think would cause you to complete the game quicker is not the correct one. Like, a lot of time the move that seemed like it would be less convenient is often the one that will benefit you more long-term, I guess. Like, you can't just move for, like, oh, I need this card. Whoops, I did that wrong. Hold on. Move that in the wrong order. There we go. There we go. Couldn't even bother to move this up here and move this here. Couldn't even open that up. Look at that. Look at that. Now, after all that grand speech, where do we go from here? Oh, here we go. We go here. That's where we go from here. That's where we go from here. Nice and simple. There we go. Very simple. I like how addicted you are to this game that you read chat after you finish a round. Well, look, I'm trying to yap. If you want me to yap, you're gonna have to give me a topic. Give me a topic to yap. Sorry, the topic machine broke. Too busy playing Solitaire. If you want a topic, you're gonna have to give me one. You think I'm gonna give you a topic for free? You're gonna have to work. I'm gonna make you work for that topic. Okay. Is it over? Not quite. Not quite. See, it's not quite over. There we go. Not quite over. Maybe a little more over than I'd like it to be. But it's not quite. Is it Jover? Nope. How dare you expect us to contribute to this conversation? Streamer, speak at us. Speak at us. I don't know. Something about YouTube makes the yap machine break. Something about YouTube just like completely. I don't know. We had some good conversations today. We talked about how every video game is Mario or Sonic. We talked about how every video game is button mashing or text reading. We talked about that. That was a good discussion. We talked about nostalgia. I got nostalgia for our discussion about nostalgia from, I don't know, like an hour ago. Okay, maybe if I do this. So I can then do this. This provides no tangible benefit, I don't think. Maybe. Perhaps. Did you talk about whether there is a growing trend of English pure VTuber corals debuting talents with established IP? Ah, yes, the new phase invaders. It was funny because like I remember like I can't believe I was right about one of them because I saw the fishbowl. Like I did the little ARG thing and I saw the fishbowl and I was like, ah yes, fishbowl, fish, probably Mari, right? Like that seems plausible. I didn't expect to actually be right. I didn't expect to actually be I didn't expect to be correct. But like I mean, I guess it's not surprising though, cuz like I feel like everyone who got chosen has like enough connection with FaZe that it's like, okay, yeah, that checks out. That checks out. It always checks out. It might be over. I don't think it's over, but it might be. Give me a second. Let me check with my people if it's over. Let me call up my manager here. Be like, hey, the manager doesn't exist. I don't have one. I have one for the purposes of this bit. All they do is tell me if it's over. Okay, I'm getting word that it's over. Unfortunately. Where do you say on the alignment chart? Yeah, we're bringing out the classics. We gotta bring out the classics. We're running out of material here. We're bringing out the classics. Let's go. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a taco a sandwich? We're bringing out sandwich discourse. Let me see. What are the other ones? What are the other common ones when we're running out of steam here? I don't know. VTuber drama. I don't have opinions on whatever is happening recently. I don't have opinions. By the power of the bit, many things are possible. Yes, the bit can truly accomplish anything. If we believe in our bits, we can do anything. But not this. Hold on. Submarine sandwiches are tacos. Soup. After you say about onions and garlic, I'm never backing down on that take. Well, like, okay, here's the thing, is like when I was talking about vegetables, it's not just about the biological, because like, how do I say this? If you had a burger with a lot of onions on it, and you ate it, would you say that you have eaten your vegetables for the day? If someone eats a sandwich with a lot of vegetables in it, would you say this person is eating enough vegetables if they did not, even if they didn't eat any other vegetables that day? Would you really say that? Would you really think that would be like a wise and correct thing to say? I've been pressured by high-ranking VTubers to only make wigglies for them. It's been traumatic. Here is my 20-page Google Doc. Okay, so are we inventing new drama? Are we inventing new drama? We're gonna have to, like, invent beef to have with various VTubers. We're just inventing beef whole cloth here. We're just inventing the entire cow. The entire cow is being invented from scratch here. Here and now. Who are we beefing with? Who are we beefing with? Oh no, it's over. I got distracted by my non-existent beef. Hold on. Pineapple pizza, yes or no? Yes. Actually, ideal is pineapple pizza if you mix a little bit of barbecue sauce into your into your pizza sauce. If you mix a little bit of barbecue sauce, that and pineapple is like extremely good. Extremely good. Ideal pizza. Ideal pizza. Peak pizza. Mm. Yeah. Why comment the news when you can be the news? Are we making up misinformation now? Yeah, Mario Barbie Ian being part of FaZe is so on brand though. Yeah, like I don't know. I think my only thing is that, like, I get the impression that the 3 that they picked, I don't know. For people who are, like, more loyal, frequent FaZe watchers than I am, is it normal for the Invaders lineups to kind of seem like they don't have much in common? Because that's my only thing, is that, like, I feel like if when I look at the 3 of them, I'm like, yep, that's certainly 3 streamers. Like, I don't know if they have that much in common. Like, that's my only thing, is like, but that might just be more common for FaZe Invader lineups because you're already getting people with, like, established IPs, right? So I feel like that might be just, like, a normal thing where it's like, yeah, of course they have different brands because they're different people. Like, what did you expect? What did you expect? That's how things work. Yeah. But yeah, we're spreading misinformation here. The fish got the fish. Oh my god, that's true. You're right. If it's a Subway veggie delight, I would say they ate their vegetables. Yeah, but like, what if it's like a ham sandwich that just has like a few leaves of lettuce for the crunch, you know? Does that count? The thing they have in common is Pippa, I guess. Yeah. Everything is the mobile layout versus infinite scrolling versus pagination. Yeah, I mean, that's annoying. I don't have much to say about it. I'm not a web designer. I don't know. Hold on. What are the other topics that we can pull out here? I don't know. We're gonna have to find someone's words to take out of context here. We're gonna have to find I can't find it. We don't have time to look it up. We're gonna have to find a tweet that we can take out of context. Quick. Let's take someone's words and interpret them very uncharitably. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I just put that here. What am I doing? Oh wait, no, it has to be there now. Whoops, okay. This is just where we are now, I guess. Let's see. Clay and Amari is a weird pairing to me, no hate, but yeah. I don't watch both of them, though. I'm sure they're fine people. Yeah. Because the question is not, like, will they get along? But it's just, like, vibes-wise, it's like, does this feel like a lineup? Or does this just feel like... Because you know how sometimes you'll have, like, stuff where it's like, yeah, this is a lineup of VTubers. But sometimes it's like, yes, this is a bunch of VTubers. I don't know. Somebody could probably make a joke out of that. It's like a group of VTubers is called a generation. In the same way that, like, you know, like a group of fish is called a school. Yeah. Ham sandwich with only lettuce? No, that's not eating vegetables. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, they're garnishes. not decoration, because you still eat it and it still has a practical purpose, but like they're not that's not quick thoughts on Xbox raising prices. I don't know, isn't everybody raising prices? Isn't that the whole thing, is like everything's expensive? I don't have thoughts. I haven't bought it. I've literally never owned an Xbox. I have not owned one single Xbox. Yeah, a group of viewers is called a raid. Yeah. A raid of viewers. It was a raid of viewers. It was a gen of VTubers. Yeah. I know, so compare contrast with Glitch Stars streamers. I don't know what that means. Or wait, no, Glitch Stars is another company, right? Right, yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm back on track. I'm back on track. I'm on the same page and also losing. But I mean, I feel like definitely that's like become a more common thing, right? Like you had like Phase Invaders. I think, didn't Idol have something like that? They might still have something like that technically. They just haven't done anything with it in a while. But yeah, I mean, I guess I can sort of see why that concept of like take existing VTubers who are popular and fold them into your company. I guess it sort of makes sense to do so. Oh, I messed up early on. Hold on. Because if it's like an IP that people already recognize, there's no point in like. Actually, I can probably solve all my problems right up front here. Yeah, there we go. Like, I guess it sort of makes more sense to just bring them into the company as is, rather than like coming up with a whole new character. But the thing is, Face Connect, because I remember they ran auditions for Invaders, but I know that didn't they also run auditions for like normal ones a while back? I seem to remember that. Yeah. I think she's big enough not to get a corporation. I don't know, because like it seems a lot of it is well, I mean, I guess she now gets to be Coffee, so she's got that going for her. She gets to become Coffee, which admittedly I guess she could have done that before, but you know, it's probably easier now. Probably a bit easier now. Are we counting lettuce as a vegetable? Like if you have a plate of just lettuce, is that a vegetable? Yeah, I'd say so. That'd be, I mean, it probably wouldn't be wise to eat just lettuce because like you need other nutrients, but like it would count. It would count. Am I already stuck? Is there really not any? I fell for it. See, this is what I'm saying. You can't take the most convenient, you can't make the most convenient move or what would seem like the most convenient move because it's often the incorrect move. Yeah. The era of small indie VTuber companies slowly stopping. Yeah, well, I think it's more just like, because I was thinking about this, because like I feel like a few years ago, VTubing was a lot less, because people talk about like, oh, the prices of 3D, of like live 2D models and stuff have gone up, and that is true, but I feel like it's a lot easier to get started as a VTuber now, I think, in terms of like finding the things you need. Than it was like before, right? And I also think that like the idea of people mostly watching companies, because obviously like HoloLive is still on top, like they're not going anywhere, but like sometimes I think about how like I feel like companies were kind of like, I've seen people who are like, they will watch VTubers from companies, even smaller companies, but they won't watch indies, and it's like, what? That doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, it kind of does, because like companies kind of are like a VTuber curation service, right? Like, you know, if a VTuber debuts with a company, right? It's like, okay, well, somebody somewhere decided that this person was a good enough streamer that they would be happy to have them representing their company. So I feel like in that sense, like, I do understand why people would, like, prefer stuff from a company, just because it's like, okay, well, again, somebody somewhere signed up on this, right? So I could see that. Yeah. You can also save up the couple thousand for your debut if you really want to. Yeah, but you can hire your own management as an indie. I guess getting into a corporation is just a way of doing that, just with extra strings. Well, I think it's also probably too is that, like, you don't have to know much, I think, to be in a company, right? Because the whole point is that the company will handle things for you, right? So I think the idea of, like, okay, if you're looking for a manager, you have to actually find the manager is the thing, right? And I think a lot of people are like, I don't know how to find a manager. I don't know what to look for. So in that sense, I guess, like, joining a company does make sense, because it's like, okay, well, you have the company manager, and they might be good or they might be bad, but the point is that you didn't have to look for them, right? Like, that wasn't your job. But yeah, I think that's the big difference, I think, is now is, like, there's a lot of people who are very successful that don't, like, or, like, they might have, like, you know, they'll have management in the sense of, like, they have a manager, but, like, they don't have management in the sense of, like, you know, how do I say this? They're with an agency, but, like, they're not, like they own their IP and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm getting incoherent. I'm gonna drink some more water. Indies are spread out versus small indie company. You have some group stuff. Yeah. Well, I feel like groups all, like, companies are, I feel like, a bit more, I guess, cohesive when it comes to, like, groups, right? Because, again, if you're hiring somebody, that means that they can, like, you know, they can go by vibes, right? Like, they can be like, okay, we are hiring these people because they work well together. So I think in that regard, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense that it would feel more cohesive. But yeah. So there's a few things probably scale better in a company like FaZe. Yeah, for, like, merch and stuff. Like, getting a big game collab as a solo is probably not happening as easily. Well, I think the other thing too is that when it comes to having managers, I think we have seen in recent, not even recent months, just, like, recent weeks, I think, why sometimes it's better if you have somebody else handling your stuff for you. I feel like we have learned that the hard way, that, yeah, sometimes there's just situations where it's better to have, you know, because, like, I feel like I've seen enough indies, like, kind of, man, I made it this far, and then now I'm stuck, I think. I don't see any good moves coming out of this. Man. Managers, I thought you meant boyfriends. No, I feel like I've seen, like, more than one situation where, like, an indie VTuber kind of shoots themselves in the foot in a situation where, like, if there was something more professional in place, this probably wouldn't have happened. Like, sometimes, so, I don't know. I remember, like, thinking a few years ago when VShojo was in the process of exploding, like, exploding negative, not, like, blowing up as in becoming popular, but, like, I remember thinking, I'm like, you know, sometimes talent freedom is bad, actually. Like, yeah, sure, they have the talent freedom, but they have, like, the talent freedom to cause everything to explode, maybe. Which, I don't know, might be bad for your company. I don't know. No, I will not do that, because that would be a mistake and also bad. Okay. Mm. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. I'm incoherent. I am incoherent. My brain is slipping away from me. There was probably a move I could have made there. But I can't be bothered to figure out what it is. My brain is melting. I am... Yeah, talent freedom is a state of mind. Well, I don't know. It's just like... Sometimes... I don't know. It's like one of those things where people are like... Sometimes... If you want to maintain a degree of professionalism, you have to have professionals involved, I think. Like... Nope, that would be a bad idea, and I shouldn't do it. This was an equally bad idea, and I shouldn't have done it. Well, this isn't, like, irreparable. This is irreparable. Yeah. Sometimes you need someone to say this ain't it cheat. Yeah, I think sometimes you just need, like... Well, sometimes I think about this, too, is that, like... There are people who are specifically trained in PR for stuff like this specifically, right? So, like, even just having somebody to, like... read over your statement that you wrote yourself and be like, maybe I would have worded this a little differently. Because, like, I've definitely seen situations where people will say things and, like, whether they're right or not is, like, basically, I think there's, sometimes it's not, like, about being right, but it's about, like, how you say things, right? And sometimes I've definitely seen things where I'm like, it's not that you're wrong, but I don't think I would have worded it that way. I think that was, like, a little more, that wording was a little more combative than I think you were probably going for. But, you know, it's already out in the open, so there's not really much you can do now. I feel like I've definitely seen things like that happen where it's like, maybe not the way I would have said that. Not the choice I would have gone with. Yeah. It's a known issue that creatives are also terrible at self-managing, so it's why production staff can be so important for games and movies. So it makes sense that streamers could have had the same problem. Yeah. Well, like, sometimes I think about, like, when people talk about, like, limitations on streaming, because I see people talk about that when it comes to, like, companies and stuff, where people are like, oh, like, they're not allowed to do this, or they're not allowed to talk about this or that. And I'm like, sometimes limitations are good, actually. Because, like, I don't know, I find it, maybe it's just my personal taste, but I always find it funnier to, like, somebody trying very hard not to swear is always going to be funnier to me than somebody who's just swearing a lot, you know? Like, sometimes I think there are actually people that I find them less entertaining when the kind of, like, when the limitations come off. I feel like their content is less my thing, you know? So I think some of it is just like, like, you need something in place. But yeah, also, like, yeah, creatives are terrible at self-managing, as well as, like, I don't know. I feel like everybody can think of, like, everybody can think of at least, like, one work of art where you're like, this would have been better if there had been, like, you know, 30% more limitations on the people making this. Oh wait, no, that was a mistake. What was I doing? Why did I do that? I don't know. I feel like I probably sound very derisive right now. Again, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm like, quick topic. I do not want to be mean, Eggy. We have a brand to live up here right now. And the brand is nice and good. People can't be going to the NiceEggy stream to get angry, because that means I failed. I failed at being nice and good. I had one job. One job. Oh, okay, never mind. Not over. Not over. Not over. My ADHD creator is definitely not struggling to get self-management going. Yeah. Not bad and mad. Not mean and bad. Not mean and bad. Not mean and bad. Nice and good. Nice and good. No being mean and bad. Hold on, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Oh, right, because that card's still up there. Whoops. No being mean and bad. We are only being nice and good here. Okay, hold on. Not over, not over, not over. It's not over. We just have to make the right decisions. That's all. There we go. That's all we had to do. We just had to think a little bit. Use our brain a little bit. That's all. That's all. That's all. Thinking time. Oh, wait, no, hold on. We don't need to think that hard. That I can just put that down there. There we go. It's just simplified my life tenfold. Tenfold. 100-fold. Ah, 1,000-fold. There we go. One bajillion-fold. I'm gonna simplify my life even more. There we go. Look at that. Look at that all falling into place. Look at all of that. Look at all that. Easy. Easy. Somewhat easy. Maybe not as easy as I thought. Hold on. Oh, wait, no. Easy. Never mind. Easy. 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 Nice and easy. Always nice and easy. There we go. Just a lot of shuffling around. That's all. That's all. There we go. Easy. 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 There we go. We're not going to be mad and bad today. No being mean and bad. No being mean and bad. We are only going to be nice and good at this. We're going to be nice and good at this. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. There we go. We did it. Okay. How long have I been going? Maybe I'll just do one more. Let's just do one more. Let's just do one more. One more. One more. One more. One more. Before I become completely incoherent. Before we start getting, like, before I, like, talk too long and I start, like, making, like, ChatGPT AI hallucinations, except, like, as a person, which I believe is just called making stuff up. I believe that's just making stuff up. So yeah, next one I win, then I will stop after. I think that'll be the plan. That is the plan. Oops, hold on. No, that was dumb. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I'm stuck with this now. I'm stuck with my terrible decision. I'm stuck with my terrible decision. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Nope, another terrible decision. That would... Okay, no, that was too many terrible decisions. Next one, you win, so you don't want to stop. I can win one more, okay? This is challenging, but it's not like the most difficult thing. Winning is possible. Winning is possible. It's definitely possible. I've done it before. At least 47 times. Well, actually, yes, 47 times. It counts every time I win. So yes, I've done it 47 times, so I can do it for a 48th time, you know? I can make it. I can make it. I just have to think a little harder, that's all. At Grok, is this true? Is this true? I don't know. It's... Why are people like this? I mean, to be fair, I guess it's the same thing as kind of as like... I don't know. See, this is the thing with my, like, at Grok, is this true? I think it's the dumbest thing because, like... It's one thing to not know something and Google it privately, but I think the thing is that, like, at Grok, is this true, is like, why are you announcing this publicly? Like, again, if I don't know something and I Google it, that's one thing, but it's like, why are you're just, like, announcing to everybody that you're like, yes, I don't know things. Like, why would you do that? Is it not embarrassing to you? Are you... I guess maybe it's like one of those things where it's like so that like other people can see the response, but I just find... I don't know. It's like... Are you not just a little bit embarrassed? Do you not have, like, just a tiny bit of shame? Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Like, you know, having a lot is bad. But just a little bit, you know? People probably don't think that far. I guess. But... I don't know. Fundamentally alien way of thinking to me. I didn't realize I was 1 minute behind the stream. Yeah, okay. Does YouTube... I feel like... I think some people were talking about it recently, is that, like, YouTube recently, like, added a thing where it's, like... Like, basically, by default, it makes your stream, like, instead of, you know, you start up the stream and you're, like, directly in line, like, it doesn't automatically disable stream playback while the stream is still going. Which I think is... It is annoying for a lot of people. Because that's also happened to me where I'm watching a stream and I'm like, why is chat not in line with what the streamer is saying? And it's because chat was ahead of what, or like the streamer was ahead of what chat was saying, or the other way around. It's like, mm-hmm. There we go. Glorp. Glorp, is this true? Aliens on Twitter. Aliens on Twitter be like, Glorp, is this true? Oops, viewer stream was 2 minutes behind. Press the live button to catch up. Yeah, you can turn off DVR in the stream settings. Yes, but you have to turn off... It used to be off by default, and now they made it on by default, is what people were saying. So like now you have to turn, and you can't just like permanently keep it off apparently, like you have to turn it off individually for every stream now. Which is why people were kind of annoyed. Okay, I was gonna say short-sighted, but like I think that was a pretty big brain play. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. DVR adds some delay to the stream too, hence chat delay. Yeah, that too. I think there already is like the YouTube delay I think is higher latency than what Twitch is. So yeah, and then on top of that, it's like, oh well, now we have this nonsense to deal with. It's always more nonsense. They're always coming up with new nonsense. They got guys employed in labs full-time, and they're nonsense experts. And they're always coming up with new nonsense. There's like a whole economy around it. There are nonsense experts and nonsense consultants. Companies hire them so they can be like, how can we make our products more annoying? How can we make everybody just like slightly angry but not angry enough for that they'll stop using it? Here, sometimes I wish sometimes that there would be like one move that would just solve everything. Just solve everything. Just expose every card that needs to be exposed. But I know that that's not how that works. That's so much not how that works that I screwed it up completely. Okay, here we go. I will win, okay? I will win. I will win, and then I will go eat a tasty lunch. I will go eat a tasty lunch of chicken salad sandwich, probably. I will go make myself a tasty sandwich and then eat my tasty sandwich. Don't worry. I know this is what you're invested in, is will Eggy get to eat a tasty sandwich? This is what we come to VTubers for. This is what we come to VTubing for. I need to know. We need to know. The people need to know. The people are clamoring to know. What will Eggy eat for lunch today? What will she have for lunch? The people must know. And I know that one was not going to go well for me. That one was not going to go well for me. Here we go. I feel like I love when I like roll up stuff like this. I feel like it feels like I'm rolling a Katamari. When I just like put the chords like back and forth, like bloop 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 bloop. It's like I'm rolling all of them into like my little Cardamari Damacy. I'm once again reminded that in this game, the fastest option is not the correct one. The most convenient one is not always the correct one. Hold on. Well. This is absolutely gonna lead me nowhere very quickly. Bro is going nowhere. Bro is accomplishing nothing. Bro is failing at simple tasks. There we go. Yeah. They should really make a Katamari rhythm game. I mean, Katamari songs have shown up in other rhythm games, right? Like, I think, didn't they, doesn't Taiko has them. Is Taiko also Bandai is it Namco? Is Taiko also Namco? I feel like I've seen it in Taiko no Tatsujin games, but maybe I was mixing it up with something else. I feel like it's in there. And I know they've definitely released like remixes. Like if you go into like a Spotify playlist of the Katamari music team, there's like 1 bajillion remixes of a lot of, like, especially the more well-known ones, like Lonely Rolling Star. There's like a lot of remixes of that. Like they're remixing these songs a lot. Yeah, Tekken is. What are you implying? That they should add Tekken to they should add Katamari Damacy to Tekken? You win not by beating your opponent with punches, but by rolling a large ball over them. But yeah, I think I'll probably start, I'll stream again on Sunday. I'll probably start, because I bought We Heart Katamari because I caught it on sale finally. So I'll probably start that then. Yeah. I think that's the plan. I say it as I think, as if I'm not sure. It's my stream. It's my stream, and I can do what I want. There we go. It's my stream. But yeah, I'll probably start that then. Because yeah, I'm going to take a few weeks of break, I think, between after Majora's Mask. I will start Ocarina of Time eventually, but not this week. It's not going to be this week. That's for sure. Actually, I think it'd be more beneficial to do this. Actually, no, it would not. It'd be more beneficial to do this first. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking beneficial. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I have like a bajillion games where I'm like, I should play this on stream, and then I forget. I always have a ton of games until you ask me what games I have, in which case I have no games. But I think this is the story of everybody. This is everybody's story. Like, I feel like a lot of people say the same thing about their Steam library, where it's like, you have games until it comes down to sit down and play a game, in which case you have no games. And you need new games. We'll go back to Holocure one day. One day, Holocure. Maybe when there's an update. I'm sure we'll get back to Little Goody Two Shoes someday. I'm sure we'll get back to, what else have I abandoned before? I'm probably not going to go back to Banjo-Kazooie. It was okay. I can't say I enjoyed it that much. It's not a bad game. It is not my type of game, I think. Games, no games, bacon, yeah. Games, unlimited games, but no games. Egg, unlimited egg, but no egg. Ah, here we go. Oh, wait, there's always a way. There's always a way. Here we go. There we go. Might seem inconvenient, but then it's convenient in the end. It works. It works out. Yeah, you could just gamble at Pecoro's Casino. Yeah, well, I know that they keep adding new side stuff. Again, I don't think I've played... It's been a while since I've played HoloCure, like, offline, I think. Because a lot of the time, if it's like, if I want to stream a game, sometimes it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna play this game anyway. I'm gonna be playing this anyway. So like, I might as well do it on stream if I'm gonna play it anyway. But like, that's only if it's like a game that I feel is good for streaming. Like yeah, I'm playing a lot of 100 Line, but I'm not gonna stream 100 Line because it's just like not the kind of game that I enjoy streaming. But yeah, if it's something that's like, okay, this is streamable and I'm going to play it anyway, I might as well, right? Yeah, the best part of YouTube is I can play at 2.0 to have the Gremlin Eggy speak fast. Wait, can you change the speed of stuff when it's happening in real time? Wait, that wouldn't make sense, because that would mean if you're going twice as fast, and that would mean, like, you're ahead in time of me, and you are seeing parts of the stream that haven't happened yet. Maybe not. I guess that wouldn't make much sense. Faye's here watching like Eggy stream in the future. Future Eggy stream. Actually you play at 3 times speed? Extremely fast, Eggy. If your stream is delayed, you can speed it up. Oh, so you can watch like real-time egg. Fast egg. You can convince yourself that I'm actually solving these a lot faster than I actually am. Amazing, actually. Good invention. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. You can make everybody think I'm super smart. Everybody will think I'm super smart. Everybody will praise big brain genius Eggy. Okay, this is a risky move. And it was a bad one. Never mind. I won't do that. I won't make the risky move. I won't do that. I simply will not. I simply will not. I will, however, make this risky move. Which I should have not made. Nor should I have made that one. Never mind. Never mind. Eggplant who just joined stream watching at 3 times speed from the beginning to catch up. Yeah. NiceEggy speed run. Would this be a tool assisted speed run? Tool assisted speed run of NiceEggy. They're not just trying to like catch up. They're not just trying to catch up on the streams. They're also trying to like catch up on like the covers and like the old clips. They're trying to like speed run the whole channel. VTuber speedrun. Well, I don't know. I have seen people before. Like I remember like one really old post on the HoloLive subreddit of somebody who like was watching VTubers, but like watching it like it was like a show, right? Like a TV show, like with episodes. And I remember somebody being like, I keep seeing people who are into watching Gura, but like I watched the debut and it wasn't really grabbing me. Does it get better later? And I'm like, episode 1 of Gargura, episode 2 of Gargura. Like, they're like, man, last week's episode of Takanashi Kiara was pretty good. Today's episode, I'm kind of on. They're keeping like an IMDb, or keeping like a letterboxd of VTuber streams. I didn't even make a single move there. I looked at the cards I started with and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. There we go. I don't know if this one's much better. I don't know if this is much better. Well, at least we got this going for us. No, we don't have that going for us. What am I talking about? We got nothing going for us. Oh wait, we got this going for us. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, what's your favorite episode of NiceEggy? What's your favorite episode of HoloLive? You have to start naming your stream like that, and after you've been streaming for a couple years, it's like episode 252. Minecraft. It's Minecraft again. I mean, I guess there are things that do get released in kind of like a TV schedule-esque way. Like, I imagine something like, Enrico could probably count as that, because there was, like, sort of a plot. But, like, not that much. Or I guess, like, the little, like, animated shorts that HoloLive has on their channel. I guess that could count, too. It's like HoloLive episode 1. But that's different, though, because they're scripted. They're scripted. I don't know. Okay, I was thinking about this actually a while back. So does anybody remember how there was like a couple shows that I remember, they were like TV anime from like 2017. Like, VTubing wasn't a thing, like it was kind of just Keys and I, but I remember there was like 1 or 2 of these shows that were basically just like, it was like improvised, semi-scripted comedy bits, where it was just the voice actors talking to each other. And I'm like, was that VTubing? Was that just like televised VTubing? That might have just been televised VTubing. Because they did like, you know, like motion capture animation and like, again, things we associate with VTubers today, right? Of like, you know, semi-scripted content with motion capture. And I'm like, was that VTubing? That might have been VTubing. That really might have been VTubing. Not Pop Team Epic, because Pop Team Epic wasn't improvised. They were, like, not very popular, because, again, for TV animation, they were considered pretty low quality. What was the one called? Mahou Shoujo Naria Girls. I think that was the one I was thinking about. Whereas, like, this is kind of just VTubing. It didn't have a name yet, but, like, this is VTubing, right? Yeah. New streamer starts, names their streams captain's log, diary entry, journal log. Actually, that would be kind of fun. Does anyone know what happened to episode 42 on Archive Karaoke? I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, it's lost media. It's lost media. That would be kind of fun. Log, diary entry, journal, log. Yeah, I feel like maybe you would have to like be super heavily themed. What would the theme have to be? Like a soldier, maybe like a military kind of theme. Or maybe if you're like a researcher, maybe like your lore is that you're like some kind of like animal researcher and like your chat are all like some like unknown species. Or no, maybe if you're like a sailor, like some kind of like old-timey sailor on a boat. I'm just trying to think of like what kind of like theming would make like a diary entry at every stream work. Like, how would that work? Like I mean, I guess I did it with Zelda. And those were just normal streams. But like, if you really wanted to go like hardcore with the theming, I'm like, how would you make that work? Captain's log, day 73. We're entering the trenches of TikTok brain rot today. Well, because like, yeah, we could do like captain's log. It could be like a military situation or like a sailing situation. But no, I was thinking like maybe like a, I don't know, do some kind of like old-timey like, yeah. I guess an ASMR VTuber call her streams like experiment number X. Okay, yeah, that's one way to do it. Yeah, like a scientific like log. Maybe chat is an alien species that we are studying here. It's like, yes. Today we experimented and tried a new video game. The test subjects responded to this they responded to this positively. Today we discussed our preferences in food. The test subject responded quite negatively. It may be prudent to avoid this topic in the future. There we go. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So we feel regret we're not saving those VODs. Well, what was I supposed to do? It's been like, I've been streaming for like 4 years now. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Test subjects are divisive on pineapple pizza. Yes. Yes. He got loose in $8, guys. Yes. I feel like if you had to like ban a lot of people from chat that day, it's like, yes, the test subjects were unruly. We have placed some of them in captivity for the time being, for the safety of others. Okay, maybe if I put this here. Okay, there we go. We're back. We didn't go anywhere, but we're back. Yeah. Experiment number 89. Test subjects are unionizing. I fear for my life. It is now apparent they know what a union is. wait, no, that was not smart. That was not smart. Hold on. Subjects became unpredictable and have been sent to quarantine Lab Zeta until further notice. Yes, yes. Or the mods are like research assistants. It's like our research assistants have been quite helpful in this situation, and we thank them for their tireless efforts. No, I can't even do that. Hold on. What can I do? There are still moves to be made. I just don't... I'm not entirely sure what those are. Oh, wait, no. I figured out what they are. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. Currently, I've been able to calm them down with Subway Surfers. They seem to enjoy it. Yeah. Like... Today, I mentioned a phrase in passing. Ara ara. The test subjects have responded to this very positively. Further research, we should look into this further. There we go. Solved my problems. Solved all my problems. Every single one of them. There we go. There we go. Subjects enraptured by jingling keys. Yeah. I have placed a loud noise that goes off every time the subjects... I don't know, what would be our lore term for, like, subscribing? What do you think that would be? There we go. Okay. I'm sure scientists themed VTubers have been doing something similar. Oh yeah, probably. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. I don't know. It is fun to think about, because I know some people have integrated their lore into their chat and some people haven't. But it is always funny when you're like, what are you guys? What are you guys? All right. My brain is fried. I think I need food. 1 hour science occasionally interrupted by Pikmin noises test. Yeah, the Minecraft test. The Jackbox test. We are currently assessing their comedic abilities by asking them to fill in blanks for prompts. We are currently undergoing the Mahjong test to see how well they understand this game and how they respond to the whims of fate here. Yeah. I don't know, it is always fun when somebody seems to have, like, their chat is part of their lore, right? It's part of their lore. It's not like, you know, their lore is happening and the chat just happens to also be here. Alright. I think my brain is thoroughly fried. I don't think I can talk anymore, nor can I game anymore. I can do neither thing very well right now. So I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to come back on Sunday on Twitch, and I'm going to play Katamari, and that'll be that. And this will be this, and I'm going to go do whatever it is that will stop my brain from being like this. Mods quarantine them. Yeah, you need to have like an alarm. I'm sure somebody has set that up to have like a ban alarm every time someone's banned. Just like wah, wah, wah. Every time someone's banned, it's like, we got another one. We got another one. Thank you for the stream, Eggy. Thank you for being here. I am sorry that I am all over the place this morning. But I promise I will try to be normal by Sunday. I will do my best. No promises, but I will do my best. And we will talk then. And I will be there then, and I will be at the then, at the then, at the there. And we will be stream eggplant eggy. We will be at the stream at the egg at the time on the Sunday. But yes, until then, thank you for being here. And thank you for being nice and good. And I guess we don't have anyone to raid because this is a YouTube stream. So take a look at my cool end card. And I will see you on Sunday. And thank you. Bye-bye.